better than consciousness info. sa.neter TV 7. You keep it hot 24/7. You got that Black Force 102. sa.neter TV 2. Yeah.
You are now inside sa.neter Studios, the House of Consciousness production, Black News presentation. sa.neter. sa.neter.
Peace and Black Power family. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all already know what it is. Y'all already seen the Paul Shadashi got a debate coming up this weekend. Jesus is not the only human sacrifice with which God is okay with. Okay? So y'all see that. That's going to be powerful, powerful debate. Ryan is already labeled as kicking Israelites behind, and he's been beating up on Israelites. But now he's going up against the HOK champion in the Paul Shadah. And Ryan is going to learn a lot on this debate. I only ask that y'all show some love to Queen Nepal, support her and donate to the Cash App. Any of my moderators got Nepal Shadar Cash App? Let's throw that in there. Let's throw the Cash App up. Hopefully, I got some moderators in here that know how to do that. You know, I'm just here to make y'all think. We're going to reason. And we got Judah Naz coming right behind it. Is the Bible a fairy tale book? Judah Naz, of course, is saying no. King Seth is saying, of course it is. So we're going to find out all of this, man, coming up in these weeks right here. You know, we got some heavyweight debates coming up as well. But I want to drop this link in case somebody would like to come up. If you're not afraid, talk to me. There's the link in the chat. Let me put that link up. If y'all have any response to the clips that I play, come on in. But our people are slowly waking up, man. Common sense over ignorance. There you go. Let's keep that going for me, my brother Max Bird. Let's keep that going. So please show some love and respect and some economic love for Nepal Shadar. Neftali, I was trying to text y'all and I tried to call you, but I did not get the flyer in my email. That's why I would have put it up. I didn't get the flyer. Can you please send that, Neftali? And maybe you could come in and answer some of these questions that I'm about to play. I'm just here to make you think. I got my big brother here, Elder Suntan. What up, brother?
What up, Si? Peace to you, my brother.
Peace to you, man. I'm gonna play a couple of clips, and I'm just here to make our people think. Our people are starting to wake up, and it's a good thing, and I'm proud of them right now for this. So let's get to the first clip. I'll see what you got to say about it. Let's go. Here you go.
The biggest scam religion ever put on folks is convincing them that good
Kind of
things,
low, Si.
great things
I
await
can't help that.
after they die. Think about that. After you die,
Okay, I'm good.
All right, hold on.
the biggest scam religion ever put on folks is convincing them that good things, great things await them after they die. Think about that. After you die, all these great things are going to happen to you. Then bear in mind, the person who's telling you this is a person who already has great things on earth. It's a pastor with a great house, a great car, maybe a plane, money, vacation, multiple homes. But don't you worry, don't you fret. God gonna take care of you after you die.
Right.
That's called a fucking scam.
Did you get that? What did you get out of that, brother? Talk to me.
Well,
We're going to touch on some little things here, man. It's something to make our people think right quick.
Yeah, of course. But it's political, Si. So the European use it as a political ploy. Dr. Henry Clark told us that they politicize religion, and it takes money to run churches and to run this religious apparatus. So in closing, I would say this. It's a European political ploy because we already had spirituality before we had that. And it's really working, you know, because Si, and I know that we got so many people who the churches is full every Sunday, and you got some people who will argue down, not Hebrews, I'm talking about regular religious people who will argue down about this subject matter. So it worked. It worked. But as you said,
the point. Here's the point that he's making, though. He's telling you that these religious leaders and the people is telling you all these great things you're going to get after you die.
Yeah.
You're going to receive all of this stuff when you die. Meanwhile, the pastors and the preachers and all of them, they got the great things right now, like the houses, the cars, the boats, the jets, and the plane.
Yeah.
Why are they receiving all these good things? Because it's a scam. Let's hear him again, because I think you missed the most important. That's what he's saying.
Oh, I didn't miss nothing.
The
Go
biggest
ahead.
scam religion ever put on folks. The biggest scam religion ever put on folks is convincing them that good things, great things await them after they die. Think about that. After you die, all these great things are going to happen to you. Then bear in mind, the person who's telling you this is a person who already has great things on earth. It's a pastor with a great house, a great car, maybe a plane, money, vacation, multiple homes.
So the people that's telling us all of this, they're already living in their heaven. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Check this second one out. Check this one out right here. Listen real good. This is deep. Check this out. And that's why the woman is laughing. All right. Check this one out right here. That's why the woman is on the side laughing, because it is hilarious.
If you like to call the Bible a fairy tale, then why don't you read it to your children at night?
Oh, this is going to be a fun one. I will bring all the nations together to fight Jerusalem. The women will be raped. Half the people will be taken away as captives.
Picture you reading this to your daughter. Picture you reading this type of stuff to your daughter, and you trying to make it sounds good. Listen.
A lot of you like to call the Bible a fairy tale, then why don't you read it to your children at night?
Oh, this is going to be a fun one. I will bring all the nations together to fight Jerusalem. The women will be raped. Half the people will be taken away as captives. You see right here, honey, it says that if a man ever rapes you, you must marry that man and he can never divorce you. Do you understand? Isn't the Lord wonderful? A woman should learn in quietness and full submission. I do not permit a woman to teach or assume authority over a man. She must be quiet. If a person does not beat his children, he does not love them. Every child is full of foolishness, but beatings can get rid of it. Then there's a really fun one where people want to rape the angels at Lot's house, and Lot's like, whoa, no, don't do that, but hold on, I have 2 daughters, which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. And don't worry, if none of these verses set your kids straight, here's a whole bunch of ways that the Bible justifies how to murder children.
Do you hear all of these crazy stories? And here you have, my brother, Elder Suntan, grown men and women. And we teach our babies about Santa Claus is not real and the Easter Bunny. But it looked like the children need to teach us now that these things that y'all reading about is not real. You know, can you imagine that, man?
Yep.
Think about that.
Apostle proves it every time he's on the panel.
Oh my God! Say that again.
Apostle proves it every time he's on the panel. You got to drop a bomb.
70-year-old man. Apostle, shout out to you, brother. We love you.
We love him, but
it's too late to change now. You're not going to change because you deeply ingrained in this stuff, man. And this is why we're trying to get our people now to get out of this dogma, to get out of this nonsense, this silly stuff.
Hold on, hold on. You ready for this?
Yeah.
And while we are being ourselves and loving Apostle in the spiritual way that we do, guess what he do? He'll tell us, well, you better watch out. Your day coming. Like we gonna get blew up, but for explaining them that what you're doing is idiocy, man. It's yours, but it's not real, Apostle. But okay, you just wait, you just watch. It's coming. Yeah. You know he do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that lets you know he's really, it's just in him. So I at my age, I didn't learn to let people have their way, but we still got to teach what we know. Yeah,
but it's all right. You let them have their way, but when they come up against you, you got to give them tough love because they're going to try to spread that to our youth, to the young people. Here, now, listen, here's a brother. Imagine teaching this to your daughter. And guess what? The people who's reading it is saying it's all right, and they are teaching this to their babies. Listen.
If you like to call the Bible a fairy tale, then why don't you read it to your children at night?
Oh, this is going to be a fun one. I will bring all the nations together to fight Jerusalem. The women will be raped. Half the people will be taken away as captives.
Now you got to tell that to your baby. Now you're telling that to your daughter. Listen, this is how you explain it to your daughter.
You see right here, honey, it says that if a man ever rapes you, you must marry that man and he can never divorce you. Do you understand? Isn't the Lord wonderful? A woman should learn in quietness and full submission. I do not permit a woman to teach or assume authority over a man. She must be quiet. If a person does...
Now, Apostle and them believe in this. They believe in this stuff, brother. They believe in this stuff, man.
So
does not beat his children, he does not love.
Way.
Huh?
So do the captain. They believe in this stuff.
Right. All of them do. Here's a brother that's fed up, sick and tired, and he's done with it. Listen.
My face with that Bible, bro. I don't want to hear none of you evangelizing, none of you calling for Christ, your testimonies for Christ, none of that shit. Get the out of my face with that Bible shit. Because I see how you Christians actually treat people. I don't give a fuck what your Bible says. I'm looking at how you act. And if your fucking religion can't put you in the right, it can't get you right. If your religion can't get you acting right, the fuck is it going to do for me?
Now, I look at that. That's deep right there because I look at how you Israelites act. I look at how y'all Israelites be on these panels, cursing people out, mothers and everybody. And then you talking about you're an Israelite, you're a man of God. But listen, that's what he's saying.
Face with that Bible, bro. I don't want to hear none of you evangelizing, none of you calling for Christ, your testimonies for Christ, none of that shit. Get the out of my face with that Bible shit. Because I see how you Christians actually.
See, I see how you Christians act. I see how you Hebrews act. I see how you Muslims act. Get up out of here with that.
Christians actually treat people.
Right.
I don't give a fuck what your Bible says. I'm looking at how you act. And if your fucking religion can't put you in the right, it can't get you right. If your religion can't get you acting right, the fuck is it going to do for me?
See, that's where the problem come in that side. They want to take their understanding of this. Because I'm going to tell you, man, the Bible is a good book as far as teaching you things of life. But it ain't for you to go pushing it on nobody. It's a good book of, some of it is a good book of wisdom, man. And then a lot of it's a lot of allegory and all this rape and fighting, you know, all of this sort of stuff, man. So, like I said, I would say this: keep your religion to yourself. Si, you always, since you've been knowing me, you always heard me say that your spirituality is your own. So that's the way you got. You can't be pushing your. Hey, Si, you my man, because I hit the videos the other day, and they were my man. Perry said you got to know the spells, and if you don't know the spells, it's gonna be a crocodile there ready to eat your ass, man.
That was on Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon, man. Hey, man, I love it. That made my day, man, because I like Perry, but you see how dogmatic Perry is?
Mm-hmm.
He just like, you know, they all is one, man. So I'm not going to knock them. That's going to be their salvation. You know, hey, side, me or you, I don't care how wise and smart we don't know what happened after we leave here, after, you know, the breath of life is gone from us in this life. Don't nobody, can't no talking about a nigga gonna tell me or Hebrew. How you gonna tell me nobody ain't there's been plenty of people died and said they did this and this. Man, look at here, man. Ain't nobody been to that other side and came back and told you no clear story
Right.
about nothing.
Right.
That's all I can say.
Now, our women is waking up too. And that's the most important thing to me. To me, that's the most important thing is to see Black women waking up, brother. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because I know once they get it right, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It is a wrap, brother.
Yeah.
Check it out.
If you've been conditioned to believe that God is up in heaven, and your Bible tells you that Satan was cast down from heaven because he wanted to be like God. So God told him, this is God now. God told Satan, I'm not going to destroy you, but I will give you dominion over the earth.
Let's stop right there, man. See, these are thinking women. I love it. I love it. Let's stop right there. God told Satan, listen, man, I'm going to give you dominion over the earth. Now, here's a devil. Why is there a God giving a devil power and control over his flock, over his children, bro? To manipulate us. Huh? To lie on us, to deceive us. Why would God do something like that? You get it? Let's go.
If you've been conditioned to believe that God is up in heaven, and your Bible tells you that Satan was cast down from heaven because he wanted to be like God. So God told him, this is God now. God told Satan, I'm not going to destroy you, but I will give you dominion over the earth. The earth. I will give you dominion over the 3D reality. And in your 3D reality, they've handed you religion. All types of religion. They handed you Christianity. What if, riddle me this, Batman, just what if this same devil that was so jealous and wanted to be like God, because God had all the angels up there worshiping and singing and doing all the shit that we do in church down here. This all the shit that the angels and shit was doing up there for God that we do down here in the church. What if? Just what if? What if this motherfucking devil is really over your church? And all his angels, all his fallen angels, all his angels have mounted up and recruited us to be slaves to it. I'm just saying shit that made
You
me
are a
think.
slave to it.
See, y'all got to understand, y'all can't just be in y'all heart all the time.
Apostle is definitely a slave to it. Not only apostle, but all of these Hebrews, all of these
Not only Hebrews, it's regular Christians.
Right,
Like,
right. When I say yes. All of these religious folks, man, it's like they can't think for themselves. They can't think without a Torah. It's like they lost. They can't think without a Quran. It's like they are lost. They are trying to live a life 2,000 years ago that they was living back then. Huh? The Comedics trying to live a life 5,000 years ago that the ancient Comedics was living. God damn it, we in 2025 here. All new rules, new laws, all of that. New culture. But here we are. We get this crazy stuff to follow in these stories, and we think we got something good.
You got to use some logics and ask questions. If this devil was cast down from heaven because he wanted to be like God, and God said, instead of me destroying you, I just give your motherfucking ass dominion over the earth.
Right.
And Satan say, okay. Now I'm just using references because I already know that heaven and hell is just a state of consciousness.
Okay.
There's no devil in God. It's just your consciousness, lower self versus your higher self.
There you go.
I'm gonna give you
dominion. You always say that, don't you?
There you go.
So Satan implements y'all some goddamn churches and got y'all ass in there worshiping, and y'all think y'all worshiping God. Yeah, you worshiping God. Which God?
Not like sir.
Which God? See, a lot of y'all need to tear away from that shit because y'all on the side playing, letting somebody bamboozle y'all emotionally, feeding off y'all 5 senses, and got y'all sitting up in a place that is literally robbing y'all of y'all very life force energy. I'm just saying, think about some shit. I question everything. That's why I knew I wasn't gonna lie in Christianity, because I question shit too much. I ask too many questions that don't make sense to me.
See that? When this woman wakes up, can you imagine our sisters being like this right here? Let me go on with the sisters. Let me continue. Check this out. Check this out.
Get this straight. Out of all the nations, you mean to tell me that Africans were the ones that got enslaved because they disobeyed God? Like, nobody else disobeyed? Not the.
Come on. Are you telling me that we the only people that got to pay the price because we disobeyed God? Nobody else disobeyed them? Only us? That's crazy.
So let me get this straight. Out of all the nations, you mean to tell me that Africans were the ones that got enslaved because they disobeyed God? Like, nobody else disobeyed? Not the colonizers, not the crusaders, not the ones who genocide entire nations in the name of Jesus.
See, these sisters are thinkers, brother. You hear me, elder?
Yes, sir.
These sisters here, they are thinkers. And they're using their brain and they waking up to this craziness.
But just so wait, no, for real. You mean Africans who had entire civilizations, languages, spiritual systems, astronomy, medicine were enslaved for disobedience. Meanwhile, Europeans were conquering land and burning people alive, and they still got to call themselves the chosen one. The same church that co-signed slavery is the same church you're using to justify it now. They blessed slave ships and ordained the destruction of cultures and called it divine will. That's not God. That's literally propaganda. What y'all call punishment, I call programming, because that narrative was crafted to make us think that our suffering was earned, so you wouldn't fight and you just accept it. That's literally psychological and spiritual warfare, bro. You're not worshiping justice. You're worshiping the colonized lens that made you think that our ancestors were the villain. Wake up.
When they wake up, man, when the women wake up, it's a wrap. Let's go on. I got another clip by her.
God was so powerful, you wouldn't have to chase people down in parking lots to prove it. And if your path is so divine, it would speak for itself instead of screaming through others. And if your religion truly brought peace, it wouldn't be tied to every single empire, war, and genocide since its invention. You Christians are always coming to somebody else's profile in their comment section and attacking them when nobody was ever talking to you in the first place. But let me tell you something, you got the one and the two, because you're never going to fearmonger me into your beliefs. I don't need your God to be good. I don't need your book to be wise. I don't need your fear to be protected. Fallen angels is your mythology, but where the confusion comes in is that you're assuming that everyone else's deities and beliefs and religions have to answer to your cosmology. Orisha and Loa aren't falling from anything. They were never a part of your biblical storyline to begin with. Calling indigenous deities little while quoting a book full of angels mating with humans that's mating giants is peak protection. And if we gonna be 100% real with it, what you doing quoting the book of Enoch anyway? Wasn't it removed from your Bible? Don't nobody want Jesus to come back more than I do for y'all, because I promise you the Jesus that y'all keep saying that y'all worship wouldn't even mess with y'all, because the way my logic, critical thinking, and reading comprehension skills are set up from reading that Bible, Jesus ate with outcasts, not empire puppets, and he challenged religious leaders, not co-signed them. Jesus said you will know them by their fruits, not church attendance. And he never once said go forth and harass strangers at the grocery store until they cry. And the thing is, I don't have a problem with Christianity or Christians, but the difference between me and you is that I'm against bullying and forced conversion, and I don't ever need to prove or convince you to believe in what I believe. And it's a shame that y'all don't feel the same way.
Yeah, that's right, family. A critical thinking sisters. And when the sisters wake up, brother, that's when we will begin to move forward. Elder Suntan, what do you think?
I think the same thing, because, you know, in the grand old scheme of things, these people are learning and they moving away from these groups. They doing it. It's just a slow progression, you know, because just like us, me and you, we don't fear what Apostle talking about. He gonna get you because of what you said. We don't fear that. You got people out, thousands of people who fear that, sir. So until that is conquered, I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna stay to myself and be a good guy, right? And I think my spirituality would be okay with me. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna treat people right. I'm not gonna let nobody misuse me. I'm just gonna, you know, we know how to live, right?
Yeah, because you don't need a book.
No,
teach you how to be righteous, brother.
No,
you don't need a book to tell you the do's and the don'ts and what you're not supposed to do. Right. You treat people just as you would want to be treated.
There you go. And that's coming out the book,
man. And then you begin to lay down and make your own goddamn history. Not the history that was so-called 2,000 years ago. That was for that story. That was for them. You know?
What about the people telling you what you talking about? Oh, you just don't understand.
Right. Yeah. Let's hear from Cube. Cube just jumped in. What up, Cube?
Come on with it, Cube.
Yeah, what's going on? Peace, y'all. Good evening. You guys doing okay?
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, man. I was listening to some of those videos that you played, and I really do like that, man. I really do appreciate that sister. I don't know her, never seen her, never heard of her, but what you said is true, man. It's a beautiful thing. Oh, those were two different women?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I just had it in my ear listening.
The women, and then it was another sister. So yeah, it was two different women.
Yeah, it was a guy at first.
Yeah.
It sounded like he was walking. Yeah, I was listening to it in my ear. I wasn't looking at the screen.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, I know it was two different women. But yeah, like you're right about that, man. Once the women, begins to fall out of this, they're gonna begin to have that rub off on their children.
Right.
Because my daughter is an atheist. She don't believe in that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we know that it rubs off. Now I don't know.
Let me tell you, Q, and this is what I've begun to start saying. The reason why you have Israelite women is because of the Hebrew Israelite men. They make their women, they turn their women into Israelites.
That's facts.
You see what I'm saying? You want to be with me? You got to be an Israelite. You're going to be an Israelite. Because when you get with them, they not no damn Israelite. Come on, man. You know that. But because they want to be with you, they will submit to you. And I know that firsthand. I know that firsthand. Trust and believe me.
I do too, because I did the exact same thing when I first came into this Hebrew Israelite thing.
Yeah.
A female I was dealing with at the time, I was like, "Yo, I'm into this new Hebrew Israelite thing," and it took a few weeks, but she started rocking with it. You know what I'm saying?
You know, right?
So it's 100% fact that the men, we convert them over because they're like, "Dang, I really like the guy. He's a good guy. I probably wouldn't mind seeing myself spending my life with him." So what they'll do is they'll say, "Well, I already believe in God. I already believe in God, so they'll go along with it, especially if they begin to see the community, like how you see on like with a lot of these camps, they have a lot of people and stuff like that. That'll just get them hooked because you just put them right back in the church, but a different type of church. So that'll really get them hooked.
Right. Brother La asked a good question. He said, "Are we more concerned with worshiping women or men?"
None of them.
Yeah, none of them. That was a terrible question.
Question.
We're trying to tell you to not worship anything.
Yeah,
so why would we?
Let it come from here. And when you wake up in the morning, you should be able to say, I have everything within me to make my life better and to make somebody else's life better. I have all the tools within me.
But here's the question though, Brother La. To a man, I would rather worship the woman than to worship something that I don't have no knowledge of or something that don't exist. Because in worshiping that woman, she begins to worship me and we worship each other and we grow. See, worship only means what? Reverence, love, and adoration. That's all it is, brother. When you love someone, when you put them on a high pedestal. So what's wrong with that? I would rather worship my queen, my woman, than to worship something outside that I have no control, no knowledge of, brother.
Now, what if that woman that you're worshiping is a Hebrew Israelite?
Because, like I said, they try to pull their woman there.
Huh?
They try to pull their woman there where they at instead of growing together.
Right. So you can come on in, Brother La. That's funny, Q. You funny.
I know.
I had to laugh at that one.
Hey, Q, let me ask you a question.
What's going on, brother?
Do you have, and I know you do, I just want to hear you say it, you have some sort of spiritual thoughts about this world and what created us and all this, and I'm not talking about as a cult, just your personal thinking. How do you feel about it?
Now, when you say spiritual, I would
Yeah.
say no. I don't have any spirituality. Me personally, I don't know what it is. And the reason why I say that is because you can ask 10 different people and you're definitely going to get at least 5 different answers. So, spirituality is not something that I even know what it is or that we can even come to an agreement on what it is.
Okay.
So, I don't have a spirituality. But as far as do I think about how we got here? Do I think about those things? Yeah, I think we all think
Right.
about those things,
Right.
but at the end of the day, I can tell you right now, if we were told or if we would be able to figure out tomorrow how we got here, everything would go just as it's been going. You see what I'm saying? We would just still be waiting for the new Superman movie to come out. People would still be playing basketball. We would just now know a thing that we didn't know, and then we would just be continue to do what we've been doing.
All right. We just got some new guests in the building. Brother Locke, go ahead, brother. You are on the call, brother.
First and foremost, peace and blessings to everybody on the panel, as well as on the chat, as well as your families.
Peace, brother.
I don't know if you guys had got clarity on the question that I had asked in the chat, but the question I was primarily asking was, however you define the deity from any other school of thought that you come from or practice, would you just primarily define it as it being a female entity, a male entity, or etc.?
There's no way to tell because none of these
Right.
entities or deities ever speak to you, so you would never know.
Nope. If you had logical thinking, Brother Live, you had logical thinking, you would think it was a morphodite. You would think it was because one can't exist without the other. One can't create without the other, in our logical speaking.
I concur with that 110%. But primarily from hearing for the last 15, 20 minutes, it's been primarily the objective pushing towards a female entity, female entity, female entity that I've been hearing from yourself as well as sa.neter. And there's no basis of anything.
When you hear the female element, then that's what the creation part come in, because a female can hold a creation of life within her. So that's where we go, and that's where I go.
I'm not speaking about in regards from the physical standpoint. I understand what you're speaking about in a woman's womb and sperm and things of that nature. I get that. But if primarily you're speaking about the objective point of defining the creator of all under the premise of having a female entity or female energy or male energy or etc.
Well, you can't do that, brother.
Right, you can't do that, brother.
Because listen, because just like I said, you mentioned the word objective. You have no objective proof to show that God, the creator, is a male, female, androgynous. You have none of that. This is why you pray. This is why you read the book.
And this is why you are a believer, because you believe. Belief is what? Blindness. You are blind. So therefore you believe. Because if you knew, you wouldn't believe. It is better to know than to believe. That's why I always say I don't believe in nothing on the planet. You either know it or you don't know it. And if I don't know it, I simply say, you know, brother, I don't know. Let me go do some research. I'm not going to get up here and say, I believe. I believe. That's the absence of knowledge, brother.
You believe in love?
No, I know love. I don't believe in love. I know love, brother.
What I'm going to say is love. What I'm going to say is this, and I concur with everything you guys have said. I'm saying from a Muslim standpoint, as the SARS on it, he just chimed in now. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. There's nothing in the Quran that states that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is defined as being a woman or a man. Asar, am I correct?
It's just the book itself, brother.
Well, that kills your objectivity you were speaking about earlier, brother.
Yeah, it's just the book itself.
No, it doesn't kill what I'm saying.
Narrative that you
what I'm saying
and go by, brother.
Okay.
Your book creates your life narrative. Your book does that to you now. You see how you just greeted Asar, right? So your book, and that's from your learning of your book, right? We talking English right here. Everybody understand, but you just came up and said something that we not aware of. And I say me that I'm not aware of. So your book teaches your life narrative.
Hey, real quick, let me ask this to the brother La, and I'm gonna let other people go because we got a few more brothers on the panel. But I do want to ask you this, brother La. So you just said that the Quran doesn't mention that Allah, the Most High Creator, whatever it is it male or female, right?
It doesn't define that at all in the Quran.
Okay, good. Right. I'm just making sure we're on the same page. So what is it? And show me the objective truth that you have to prove that it actually exists.
You don't have nothing.
I don't know. That's why I asked the question.
Faith. And this is what I said from the beginning. It's faith.
Right.
So if you have faith in the thing that you don't see, can't know, even prove exists, why do you have a problem with them worshiping male, women, and men? What's the problem? If you're doing the same thing, this is what I'm trying to point out.
It's not a point of figuring out essentially if they're male or female. It's what's giving you the aptitude to define it as such and be so vigorous about speaking it. If you don't know yourself, wouldn't it be best to be humble and be still?
But you just agreed that you don't know yourself when it comes to Allah. So you guys are in the same boat. If sa.neter says he wants to worship the woman and you say you want to worship Allah, you can't prove Allah. But he can prove a woman exists.
Go ahead.
Yes, but we're speaking in regards for the physical standpoint as human beings, meaning that a man can't come into existence without a woman, and a woman can't be presented into the world without a man.
Well, I'll let somebody else go, but until you get to that point to where you can prove Allah exists objectively, as you stated earlier, then there's really nothing else to talk about, brother.
Let me show you how to get Brother La, because you asked the wrong question. Here it is. Brother La is shaking and faking right now.
What we're going to do
brother, I didn't even say nothing yet. Don't get scared, brother. You always tremble when I come, brother. You're always trembling.
I don't want to hit it before.
I'm going to show you how Brother La be shaking and faking. He said, the Quran don't say nothing if you're male or female and none of that. Watch this, Cube. Brother La, are you saying that there's a possibility that Allah, it could be a female? Let's hear you. Talk to me. Talk to me. Is it possible that Allah can be a female, Brother La? Unmute yourself and talk to me.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So that just hearing this, brother.
That just killed everything he was saying when he said that it's not a man or a woman. You don't even know.
Right.
No, this is a spirit. I mean,
That's because the term God is a neuter noun. So it's neither female nor male.
Thank you.
More like, yeah.
Brother La, you ever heard of Allah? You ever heard of Allah? And I know you did because you're well.
So why ask the question? Why ask the question?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right, brother. Let me move on real quick. Brother La, you done? Because I want to get the rest of the brothers that came on. You got another question, Brother La, or statement?
No, go ahead, brother.
Okay, let me get Dr. David Roots up in the building. What up, Dr. David?
Can't hear you, muted.
Unmute yourself.
I can hear you now. You can hear me, right?
I can hear you, brother. What's happening?
Greetings. Calling you from London. 12:24 right now. Yeah, respect. But before I say my quick points, I just want to thank you because some of the videos that you've been doing recently, especially the one with Dr. Ellis.
Uh-huh.
That was very, very powerful. I left a comment. That was huge work. Huge work. That video from Dr. Ellis on the slave trade and his evidence that he presented with Sister Napa.
Right.
And the one with Dr. Antoinette Harrell. I'm sure you know, everyone tells you, but the archiving of this evidence and records that you're doing is it's just gonna last for legacy. So I really appreciate that. And I do send you cash apps, don't worry.
Thank you, man.
Well, I send you PayPals because we can't send cash apps to you from the UK.
Right. Thank you. I was wondering where this PayPal was coming from. Thank you, brother.
Yeah. But in terms of this religion thing, as you said, to kind of bring it back to the topic about whether religion is good or bad, I'm sure you know and our viewers know that the majority of wars, especially in the, after the discovery of America, so-called discovery of America, have been based on religion. You know, the wars, for example, when the Spanish went out, it was all based on religion. When the Portuguese went out, it was all based on religion. The fact that the Pope at that time gave an edict which said that you can take in and subjugate any non-believer or infidel, as they called them, was all based on religion. So, as you said, religion has been a big dividing force across humanity. Even when you look at the Hindus versus the Muslim, it's all based on religion. You know, the Buddhists versus the Uyghurs in China, religion. Religion has created so much division.
Yeah.
I'm sure you agree with that, sa.neter.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Religion is what caused the wars and all of that.
That's right. Even to today, we don't want to talk too much because we don't want your channel to get flagged. But we know even to today, with the conflict between Iran, Israel, the Palestinians, at its heart, even though it's political and it's money driven, we know that much of it's based on religious doctrine.
Yeah, yep.
Yes, it is.
But I also want to say, though, that religion, to me, from my studies, is just a tool. And with these tools, it's just like a knife or a hammer. You can build or you can destroy. A hammer, a sledgehammer is what you need to do demolition work, but you also can use a hammer to build as well. And is it possible that actually the religion that we inherited has been corrupted? Because when our ancestors were living, for those of you that subscribe to what Dr. Ellis has said, Dr. Harrell has said, and so many others on the continent in Africa, our religion was based around nature.
Yes.
It was based around harmony, living in harmony with nature.
Absolutely.
And sa.neter, I know you would appreciate this, and then I'll finish with this. And Asai Carr talks about this. I recently went to Senegal in April. I've been all over Africa, but I went to Senegal. And when you go to Senegal, which is a Muslim country, the mindset and the attitudes of the people, the way the women carry themselves, the way the men carry themselves is on a very high order. And a lot of that is based on their love and respect that comes through their religion. So I'm not sure if it's religion that's the problem or if it's just the corrupted ways of those who we have taken our religion from, the corrupted aspects of those religions. I want to know your opinion on that.
That was nice.
Yeah.
I think well, you know, Doctor, the code of ethics is based on what people gravitated to in ancient times. And so once you do that and you run into a clash of a code of ethics, or you have someone in charge of that code of ethics that is power hungry, and the people are influenced by how he moves with those code of ethics, a war could start with somebody else who differentiates in what they think or believe or like or have come to grow accustomed to. And so this is our real problem, because the issue in Kemet was never that you had a different religion. Remember, they helped start religions for other cultures. That was never the problem. The problem was, okay, now that we have this, we also want what you have.
Right.
And when people start to get greedy, that's when the problem comes into play. It's never been religion. People be, oh, black people fell because of religion. No, when you were most spiritual was when you was most powerful. Kemet lasted way longer than the United States, way longer than Europe, way longer than anything you can name. unless you look at another African culture like the Zulu or something of that nature. So being in love with nature has never been a problem, and your ethic code shouldn't be a problem. And proving your ethic code exists is not that difficult either in most instances, which is why my brother Cube ain't take the debate with me, but that's okay. That's another topic. Shout out to my big.
But that's what it was all about. It was about the nature. It was about being in love with nature. Don't fall into it, Cube. Come on. Don't fall.
No, I just missed what he said. I was typing something in the chat. I kind of missed what he said.
Cube used to chase me to try to get a debate, so I ran up on him one time, and he was like, "Well, I don't want to make a position." I was like, "How you going to debate without a position? Claim your
On
position.
what?
Let's get it on." You remember?
All right.
You said you wanted to debate
Okay.
atheism
We'll
versus.
talk about that later. We'll talk about that later.
Hey,
But I
son,
get
let
you.
me say this. Let me say this.
Cube, my man.
What Dr. David said brought a thought to my head, because it's in what you said, Asar. It's about greed, but yet and still the religion part, Dr. David, is this right here. That war with Palestine and Israel, guess what? They said that God gave them that land. So what do that tell you? That's why they doing all this destructive killing now. Netanyahu said that God gave them that land is theirs through inheritance. See what I'm saying? So y'all think on that. That's what y'all like.
If I may, they wanted to justify why they're Polish and Russians coming over to Palestine. Palestine gave them refuge in that location. What they did was say, hey, why don't we just grab this Bible, claim this identity, and start to push them out?
You gotta understand.
Yeah.
Also, colonialism, brother. Don't leave out colonialism.
Oh, that's the main one.
There you go.
Hey, Sa, I wanted to ask Brother La and you, because the main subject was about Allah being man or female, male or female. But in the Quran, and I think it's Ahad, it says, Kuhu Allahu Ahad, Allahu Samad, Lam Yalid wa lam yalad wa lam ya kufuwan ahad. Meaning say he, not her, but he is one. So the Quran does call God a he.
Oh, uh-oh.
No, that's not what he was saying. That's not what he was saying.
Okay.
Brother.
No, but that was what he was saying, because Brother La said the Quran don't say he or she. He did say that.
No. He was talking about how male or female, but when you using a word, it's just the word he is just a pronoun. So it's not saying he like he got a pair of testicles. It's just saying he, but it wasn't talking about male or female though. I get Brother La and Asar when they said that.
Man, you go to the Muslim countries and you say God is a girl, you getting stoned.
Right. Come on,
stone you.
Come on, Cube, man.
No, just because we have ridiculous people that take it that way doesn't mean that's what the thing means.
The world go around.
But that's what the prayer was talking about. It was saying he.
Right.
They
So
say he all through the Quran.
And the mere
Says he is
fact
the
that
law,
y'all
the one,
have
the
this
only, the eternal,
And
the
when
absolute.
they say he, they talking about now, brother.
And Yame, what you think about that, bro? And
What I'm
Yame.
going to say.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
Chime in, Yame. Yeah. And Yame got to grab his mute button.
Peace. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, peace and power. I mean, it's obvious that it's a masculine noun, and if you look at the Arabic countries, they're definitely masculine or misogynistic. So I mean, that's not even an argument.
Yeah.
But I think Asar and other brothers stole my point. I was going to say it's not religion, but it's the struggle for power. People will use anything to control you, and we definitely use religion to manipulate people.
And to
but the idea, the concept of
go ahead, bro.
I just want to say the concept of God is not bad unless you use it for bad. And I do want to congratulate on the show the other day. I forget the lady's name. They was talking about the slave trade. Those are really good shows. I mean, really. really quality shows. So shout out to sa.neter.
Thank you. But the concept of God in the black community, in the Spanish community, all over, it is bad. It's not a good look at all. Because yes, it is bad. Let me go to this right here, and then we're gonna feed off of what he said. Let's go to one clip.
There's a God, and if you can make people believe, I believe this, if you can make someone believe that there's an invisible man living in the sky who's watching everything you do and keeping count of everything you do, which is good and which is bad, then you can make that person believe anything after that.
Right.
You can add anything you want. The 4th of July shit just rolls right in. Land of the free, home of the brave. The press is fair and impartial. Justice is blind. All men are created equal. Your vote is important. The United States government is on your side. The army is here to keep the peace. The police are on your side. And your vote is important. Did I say that? Oh, and freedom of choice. This is the big one. The illusion of choice. We're led to feel free by the exercise of meaningless choices. There are, for instance, important things. Not too many choices. Unimportant things, ice cream flavors. What do you want? We got 31. Got the flavor of the week, got the flavor of the month. But political parties, we're down to 2. Jeez.
So if you could make people believe that there's a God.
There's a God. And if you can make people believe, I believe this.
Let me
if
tell
you
you
can
why I
make someone
disagree
believe
with
that there's an invisible man living in the sky who's watching everything you do and keeping count of everything you do, which is good and which is bad, then you can make that person believe anything.
Yeah, Q.
Yeah, the reason why I disagree with that is because of this. Because when you look at the average Christian, fake black Hebrew Israelite, Muslim, whatever it is, they'll believe in these fairy tales and these fantasies that are in this book. But every single one of them, they press the button on the crosswalk when they cross in the street. They all put their seatbelt on. So I get what he's trying to say, and he's not wrong with the overall point. But most people, they are intelligent outside of the Bible. When they close that Bible, when they leave Sunday school, they're very intelligent. A lot of these people are engineers, they're programmers, they're very intelligent, but they go to church and they just sit and get dumbed down for an hour or two, but they're very intelligent outside of that. So
I can agree with you on that. Yep.
Hey, sa.neter, on the word Allah, why it never says it created creation instead of saying he or she, like Q was saying, they use he as like a just a word, but you can't. That's still male chauvinist. So the book is written out of a male perspective.
Well, the reason I said that because he is a pronoun, and these people being the backward savages that they were, this is what they ascribed it to. But if you're really dealing with the actual text, the being is neither male nor female. So when people today look at the book, people who live in these Muslim or Islamic countries, yeah, it's male dominated, but that's not really what the book is. This is how a lot of these women are able to go into the Bible and say, hold on, what do you mean I can't teach? But why does it says this here? But why does it says this there? Because ultimately that's not the message. The message isn't for the male to dominate and rule. That's not what it's for. But men have taken it because we are the dominant sex, and then we can do what we want to do with it.
And write it the way we want to write. Okay.
Brother Lie. What does Irahim mean? Irajim mean? Irajim. What does that mean, Brother Lie?
Irajim.
Yeah, or Irahim.
Irahim.
Most merciful.
You're most merciful.
Rahman Irahim.
Most gracious, most merciful. Rahman Rahim.
That's the beginning of Al Fatiha, which is the prayer.
Most gracious, most merciful.
What does A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim?
Bismillahi
Rahman Irahim.
A'udhu Billahi Minash
Shaitan.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Y'all going to this same
The most merciful is Allah.
Rahman Rahim. Malik Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina siratal mustaqim siratal ladzina anta alayhim ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Amin. That is Al Fatiha.
Waladdallin.
Hold on. Oh, come on, man. I'm about to get off.
The funny part is the Amin is not in the book.
No.
I mean, my
I
bad.
mean, it's not in the book,
No,
but you say
I'm not.
it because
I
we know
saw.
who influenced. Yeah, we know who
I saw.
influenced them.
I
Yes, sir.
saw. I mean, no disrespect by cutting you off, brother, or the other brother on the side. But because of the mere fact of me saying something, the brother defined me as being a terrorist.
Not
Who
me.
said
Not
that?
me, right, Law? You saying me?
I ain't define
No.
you as being a
No,
terrorist. I'm just y'all up here talking terrorist
Who said
babble. Ain't
that?
nobody want to hear this.
Oh, he's talking about
Yeah.
Keon.
I
Did he
ain't
say
called
that?
you a
I didn't hear him say
is
terrorist.
he
that.
ready?
That's exactly what I heard him say. And he
Oh, I'm
just
sorry.
confirmed it by saying what he said.
Yeah, that's not good,
No,
brother.
I was
It ain't.
actually
That ain't.
saying that when they said
No, he
we know
wasn't
where they
saying you
got it
Not
said that,
from.
saying
Asar. He wasn't
Nassar.
saying you said
I'm
that.
not saying Nassar.
Oh no,
Because of
hold
the
on one
mere
second.
fact of me, because of the mere fact of sa.neter asking me a question, which we both confirmed, which is a prayer for Muslims, which is called El Fatiha. Because I recited El Fatiha, Keon defined it as and said what he said, as he just confirmed to everybody, that's some terrorist talk.
Yeah, terrorist
We're not
talk.
going
Yeah.
to do that. Yeah, yeah. Now you hear my
Yeah,
wisdom.
that's
She's saying,
disrespectful.
What does Raheem means, brother? Like Raheem.
sa.neter, I'm not sa.neter, but you're not going to check what that man just said.
I didn't hear him. I didn't hear what he said.
He just confirmed what he said.
I didn't hear it because I was looking
You
up
about to
something.
check what the check me
The
for
brother's
what?
engaging
I'm a
in
grown man.
Islamophobia by calling him a terrorist. That's all it is, bro. And it's
Come on,
disrespectful.
Keon. You can't do that, brother.
Man, y'all talk about bro. Y'all gotta stop. Toughest environment, my butt. Y'all up here talking about bro. Stop it, bro. It was a joke. If you got mad, okay, who cares? Oh well. Y'all up here
Ain't
talking
you a
about stuff that
Christian though?
nobody knows about this. What does
You
that
don't
got
care
to do
about
with
people.
anything?
You ain't got people care about people's feelings. Ain't you a Christian?
No, I don't care about
See,
other
this is
people's
what the sister was
religions.
talking about in that video that you
Yeah.
played. You
Yeah.
Christians.
Yeah, I don't care about other people's religions because I'm not their religion. Yeah.
He's like
Such a
the Ku
surprise.
Klux
I'm sorry,
Klan
Q.
Nazi
My
of
bad.
Christianity. If you're
My
not a
bad.
Nazi, you need to die. That's what he says.
I didn't say care about people's religion. I said their feelings. You just recognize that you hurt the brother's
Yeah,
feelings,
their feelings about his religion.
engaging in
Could
Islamophobia.
care
You
less.
hurt his feelings. So why not just say, you know what, brother, peace up to you. I
Engaging in
apologize.
Islamophobia. Jesus, I'm done. Anyway. Go ahead, y'all. Y'all got this. Now no one talk.
Just like a Christian, run from the truth.
Because you're saying I'm engaging in Islamophobia. Oh my goodness. That's what's up. But shout out to the terrorist babblers. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with it. I just don't.
See,
I
there
mean,
you
who
go
cares
again.
about this stuff? Nobody wants to hear about the Harim Harakmah. Y'all not Muslim. Y'all not the original. Whatever they told you to make you believe in this stuff.
You ain't
Whatever
no
they told you
Jesus.
to make you believe you the original Kemet Commission. Whatever. Whoever told you that
You
you
ain't
the
no
original
Christian. You
Hebrew.
ain't no Hebrew.
Whoever told you you the
Whoever told
original
you you
Hebrew.
black
Hold on
and
a
That's
came from
ridiculous.
second.
Syria is crazy.
Asad, does the word Raheem means womb?
Raheem,
Yes.
Means most
Raheem is like
merciful.
mercy. It's like a covering, so it can
I
be
need I
referred
need
to
to
as
I
a
need you to
womb.
go
But
look that up, Rakufu.
All right, let me look it up.
Raheem. Does it mean because it took me back to Polite and Eman Bashir on the street.
I remember that. I remember, yeah.
And then and they looked it up and it meant womb. That Allah has a womb.
Oh, I
Yeah.
remember that.
Remember
I
that?
remember
Yeah, I
that.
remember that. I
Yeah.
remember that.
The
I
people
remember
looked it
that.
up, y'all. The
I'm
people
looking it
looked
up.
it up and they found out. That's why I kept
What does the
asking you
word Rahim mean in Arabic?
in English.
Y'all about to get our houses blown up, bro.
In
Y'all need to
Arabic,
stop
the
this.
word Rahim translates to merciful, compassionate, or kind. It is derived from the root word
yeah,
Ramah, which signifies mercy and
All right.
compassion.
All right. I see.
But
I'm
it
gonna have
also
to do
okay.
this. I'm gonna have to do this so you will be able to look up exactly what the people looked up because it's on the video.
I
So you
know.
probably typing in the wrong one.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to do
No,
this.
let me see because I still said but, and there was some more.
Okay.
Which signifies mercy and compassion. It also one of the 99 names of Allah in Islam, specifically referring to the most merciful. Here's a more detailed explanation. Meaning, Rahim conveys a deep sense of kindness, empathy, and benevolence origin. It stems from the Arabic triconsonantal root RHM, which is the foundation for many words related to mercy and compassion.
Check this. But he's saying about the nook that's being placed there, any association.
There's 3 hives.
What are they? You can see the pattern. You can see the
Rahim, right?
Rahim. Well, here we go.
Rahim. What does Rahim mean? There's discrimination in Islam.
No, there's discrimination in the world that people are claiming Islam, but not in that Quran. You ain't gonna find racism in that Quran.
You're gonna find chauvinism.
Show me where racism and chauvinism is in the Holy Quran.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. What does Rahim mean? What translate that, brother? First of all, translate that.
I seek refuge with Allah from the accursed Satan. In the name of Allah, the gracious and merciful.
I just found it.
The what?
The gracious and merciful.
What word are you describing as merciful? Is that Rahim?
Rahman.
Rahman el-Rahim. Rahim, right?
Rahim, yes sir.
Does the word Rahim mean womb?
No. That.
The word doesn't mean Rahum. The trilateral root in Arabic RHM. That doesn't allude to womb?
RHM.
Does it not mean womb?
It doesn't mean womb.
Now, what I'm going to ask y'all to do, because this is going to be null and void, do your research and put the word womb next to Rahim. And what you're going to find is that now I want you to translate it again, brother. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. They're seeking refuge in Allah's womb. And any Arabic speaking person, if you say, brother, does Rahim mean womb? They will not be insecure.
All,
hold on.
Let him go.
Hold on. I just asked him to translate it again.
And he ain't want to. No.
He ain't want to.
For what? But you said it wrong again.
Can you do me a favor?
One is Rajim and one is Rahim. A'udhu billahi minash.
Now watch when the people look it up. They're going to look it up and you're going to see it. Watch.
sa.neter Rajim. Not Rahim.
Listen.
It's not Rahim, huh?
Listen.
Man. Stop playing.
Listen. All you got to do is go to any Arabic speaking person. Go ahead. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillah.
You just said Rajim. You just said Rajim.
El-Rahman.
You just said Rajim. I'm glad it's on tape. So wait. Is it Rajim or Rahim?
And rewind that, son. Did he say that? Rewind that.
No, hold up. You're going to see it.
It's Rajim. So Rajim and Rahim and Rahman, they're totally different. They're totally different. So how you trying to make Rahim synonymous with Rahim or Rahman? How can you do that?
One of those words, brother. Listen carefully.
Go ahead.
Listen carefully.
Go ahead.
I'll only ask you a simple question.
Go ahead.
Does any word in there allude to womb?
No.
None of those words in there allude to womb?
No.
So again, I'm going to ask y'all to do your research. I'm going to ask y'all. Did you find something?
Right there. Go ahead.
Hold on. Pull it back. Go back. Go back.
Oh, because it's on the internet, it must be true.
No, because you saying it must be true. I said look it up.
Right.
I didn't say because Polite said it.
A little bit more than Google.
Hold on, brother. Hold on, stop.
To look up Arabic.
Show me where it's at.
Kidding me?
Rahim.
Let me see.
Rahim.
Scroll down. Let me see. What is it?
RHM. Like I said, it's a trilateral root. Post about Rahman, Rahim, womb. Okay? Now these are all. If you Google it, you're going to see nothing but posts that show you Rahim goes to womb. And if you speak to any Arabic-speaking person, I'm talking about a pale Arab, not a black man that's converted to pale Arab religion.
Right.
Hold on. Read from right here. Okay. The root word Rahmin, from which Rahman and Rahim are derived, literally mean the womb. So Allah has a womb.
Wait.
Hold on. Allah has a womb. Allah has a womb. Now my problem with Islam, Allah has a womb.
What?
A womb. So my problem with Islam is the black woman is God, and they over here keeping secrets.
Now, see, that's why Brother Lot got up off of here, because I
just looked it up. I looked it up and it says yes. It says yes. And also, I want to say this before I say that. The tribe that claimed to be Hebrew Israelite, the Igbo in Nigeria, in their indigenous religion, the lady name of the god is Allah, A-L-L-A. So I just want to say lady and Allah goes together in Africa first. But yes, in Arabic, womb is R-A-H-I-M, Rahim. It is also the root word for the name Ar-Rahim. And Ar-Rahim, which are the two of the 99 names of Allah, Then it goes Rahim. The word directly translates to womb.
All right, there you have it.
So it's a root word from another word that means womb. So that means that word means womb.
It is what it say.
That's it.
That doesn't make any. That's not how words work. You know that, right?
Listen, it says, which are two of the 99 names of Allah, often translated as the most compassionate and the most merciful, respectfully. The connection between the womb and these divine names highlights the concept of mercy and compassion, as the womb is seen as a source of nutrient and protection, similar to how God's mercy is understood as nutrient and protecting its creation. Here's the breakdown. Rahim. This word directly translates to womb. Arahim, one of the names of God often interpreted as the most compassionate. Another name of God often interpreted as the most merciful. The shared root, RHM, emphasizes the connection between the physical womb and the divine attributes of mercy and compassion. According to Arabic language and Islamic texts, the womb as a source of life and nurture is a powerful symbol of God's boundless mercy, his womb.
Now give us a summary of what that meant.
It refers to a covering and it refers to a protection.
Why do you need a summary,
like if you know Arabic,
Yo, Rakufu is a scholar on the low, man. He does good. Listen, he does good research. I'm gonna tell you. Listen, hey, Rakufu.
Hey, Rakufu ain't nothing to play with,
bro. I'm gonna tell you something. Hey, I'm gonna tell you
the
something.
G, baby.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. From me to you, I be listening to you, and you really be, you know what I'm saying, coming through with the knowledge. I don't agree with the
That's
stuff.
why I be asking him, because I know he know how to do research. He definitely
I don't.
research.
I don't agree with it, obviously, because of my stance, but I do respect it.
Don't argue about it either.
I
He
do
just
respect
put
it,
it out
bro.
there.
This is.
I wonder who he hang out
Kudos
with.
to the family. Yes, sir.
So let me ask
So
Elvis brother something.
This is so silly.
Who's
I wonder
calling
who
me?
he be hanging out with, that brother.
David, Dr. Roots.
Asar.
Oh, that's your master teacher?
Master teacher, Jonathan
Oh,
Owens.
okay.
Shaka.
I really gotta knock Asar off now. So that's your master teacher. I really gotta get this doctor class.
Teacher is Google. He just looked this stuff up on Google and lied. Like, what are we talking about?
All right, everybody, hold on. Keon, this here clip goes out to you, brother.
Oh, here we go,
Bible
bro.
been kicking black people ass. That Bible been kicking black people ass for 500 years and still kicking black people ass. If they do have a race war and they decide to have a civil war, them church people won't be fighting. They'll be on their knees. They'll be on their fucking knees. When China went to war, they weren't on their knees.
That's right.
When Japan went to war, they weren't on their knees.
That's right.
When Korea went to war, North Korea, they was not on their knees. No country's on their knees, but the black man and woman, the church people, still on their fucking knees. In what, 2025, still down there begging, hands prayed up, begging. Y'all gonna stay on y'all knees for life. And they gonna continue to whoop y'all ass.
Damn.
You better prepare yourself for what's coming. Yeah. I stay prepared. I'm military. I stay prepared.
A gun.
And all military men stay prepared. Because we know what's coming. So all you church people, stay on your knees when the war starts. And guess what? That's where they're gonna find you at. On your knees.
Elder. Go ahead, Elder T.
Hey, now let me ask y'all a question. Cube, China is so goddamn smart that they refuse to let the United States government dictate to them what to let into their country, right? China,
And I love it.
don't you know China, Cube, and all the brothers up here, let's build on it. It's forbidden for their people to pray in China.
I love it.
Did you know that? Did you know
Why
that?
do I care? I don't care.
I didn't know that they were forbidden to pray. But I
No,
thought
no, listen. They were forbidden to practice any religion outside of China. If it ain't about them,
in the past, yes. In the past,
if
yes.
it don't look like them, that's forbidden.
Yes, in the past, yes, that was the case. In the past, yes, that was the case. 100%.
sa.neter.
But can I play this video for 60? Oh, my bad. Go ahead, David.
All right, I want to add to that. I'm going to add some other things as well. I know you like martial art movies. We all like them old kung fu movies, right?
Yes. Yes.
When you look at the history of the Ming versus the Tang and some of the other kingdoms in some of those movies, you look at the back history, you'll be surprised to know how long the Christian missionaries have been trying to get into China in order to bring Christianity. It's been going on for hundreds of years. We tend to think of it as like some modern thing, but for hundreds of years, Christian missionaries have been trying to come into China, and they were behind supporting some of the rebel factions that ended up fighting against each other, which you then see in those martial arts movies, obviously as, you know, caricatures and stuff like that. But I'm going to add this, and then Cube, you can just play your video. The onslaught of the Christian religion was one of the most devastating things to our people when it was put on us. When the European came to the West African shores, there was no Christian religion. There was Islam though, but there was no Christian religion. There were missionaries that were trying to get in, but they couldn't get in. So the fact that now that the majority of Black people in America, in the Caribbean, in South America, and of course in Africa, are now within this Christian thing. You go to Africa, you go to America, you'll see the white Jesus and all of these figures. Shows you how much of a devastating and dangerous brainwashing job that Christian religion, backed by the Bible, has had on our people. It's a serious, serious thing. So we can talk about it. I don't want to dominate too much.
Can I ask you something, Dr. Roots? Just before you go, Q, Dr. Roots. When you said it was Islam in West Africa, but it wasn't Christian there, would you agree that the intelligentsia, like we got CIA, FBI today, know certain things that the normal walking around American citizen don't know about other countries? Do you think the intelligentsia of Africa, the kings and the hierarchy, through even Islam, studying and knowing about another book about the Injil, they knew that Christianity exists in West Africa on a large part on the high intelligence, on the high hierarchy?
What do you mean?
Knew that it was a Christianity in the world.
You mean from the 1400s and the 1500s, 1600s, or
studying Quran when it tells you about there was a book before this, the Injil, then the Torah, but the Injil is called Christianity, and they're on earth, right? You know, if you read the Quran, it talks about Christianity. So I'm saying the ones that were educated and the hierarchy of West Africa had an understanding that somewhere on this earth there was a Christianity religion.
Somewhat, yes, but remember, we're talking about 1400s, 1500s, 1600s. The technology is completely different. The ability to travel from place to place, so on and so on. We know that some of the Africans were Muslim because they had amulets. There's records of people wearing amulets, and in these amulets there were pieces of the Quran and things like that, especially later on as the centuries went by. But the majority of people still would have been practicing what we would call, quote unquote, traditional ways of life and traditional practices. And so what this Christianity has done, because I wrote it down, we had our own stories. I'm sure many of you have heard of Anansi, for example. Do you know about Anansi? Yeah. So what we look at as fairy tales and so on is similar to how people look at the Bible. We had our own stories for giving morality and giving lessons and things like that to life. Anansi is just one that survived over the centuries and entered its way into American and South American Caribbean folklore. But we had our own stories, our own mythologies that gave us a certain moral code and a certain way of life. But now,
Ifa.
Not just Ifa. You know,
I'm just one of them. I'm just one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, but now, and sa.neter has so much on his channel already. Why would now we look to something that's essentially Greek? It's Greek in origin in terms of the writing, and it's Roman in culture in terms of much of it, to have our religious sort of dogma. This is the brainwashing job that's been done on us.
Right. That comes from
Wait. I let you, can an actual religious person talk before y'all create an echo chamber? Because that's all y'all been doing pretty much.
Well, no, I was actually about to disagree with him.
The reasoning why we actually, it's not because I don't base my religion off of who wrote it. It has nothing to do with the color of the people. It has nothing to do with the ethnics or the origin story or wherever they came from. That has nothing to do with it. It's because you read the book and you agree with the morals if that's based off of what you do. That's what you should do. But it seems like that, well, doctor, no disrespect, it seems like that you're more concerned about the color of the people that write it, and your morals is based off of who told you instead of if the person is right or wrong. And I think that that's just incorrect. How you should do that.
But Keon, you're biased if you've never read the other ones. If you've never read the other ones, if you only read the Bible, then you're biased.
But hold on. Let me add to what he's saying, because he's actually he's kind of saying a little bit of what I was gonna say, which why I was gonna say that I disagree with Dr. David Roots, because you know the importance of or who came up with it, that doesn't matter. It's about what it does and how it affects our people. So we don't care who came up with the phone, who came up with the car, who came up with the plane. That doesn't matter. How does it affect our people?
Right.
So when you say, well, these things are that the origins are in Greek, mythology and things of that nature, and white people wrote them, I don't care about any of that thing.
You gotta care, Q.
No, I don't. I have to care about how it. Listen, watch this. Hold on. Watch this. Let me help you. So we do know that type 2 diabetes. No, I got you. But type 2 diabetes is a thing, right?
Right.
So the person that comes up with the cure, we don't care about the person. All we want to do
is the cure. You're right, Q.
Hold on. We want to have access to it where it can help African people, Asian people, white people, no matter who it is, we want access to that thing.
But you're attributing that Christianity to the cure of our aspirations as a people and our spiritual growth. And how can you do that and be biased and you've only read the Christianity? How you know, like you say, the medicine, let's say this African created the medicine, he's closer to us. You're going to go all the way to China to get the medicine that's in your backyard?
Come on, brother.
Let me say this, Keon.
Not you.
That's such a ridiculous argument, especially when you guys sit up here and say that we get the Christian Bible basically comes from everything from Kemet, from all these other different why
would we want to go to that watered down version?
That it comes from the same place. So if it comes from the same place and it's saying the same thing,
can I add this?
Read it? Like that's
it's watered down and it's not the pure.
Now it's watered down. Oh my goodness.
Hey, listen.
Well, hold on. Everybody hold it. Let me play this video because this dovetails. Hold on. This dovetails with what sa.neter just played. This video.
Won't let me make my point, Q.
Okay, go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
All right, now let's put it in context. When the doctor talking about the Romans, the Greeks, and all these things of that nature, what he's saying is through the colonization of these things that's happening now is the effect, is the influence of these things. See, when you say, well, we don't care about where it come from, okay, you don't, but you got to care about who influenced it and what influence they had on our culture as Black people.
But they're reaping benefits.
Hold on, let me finish, bro. You said why? Because you see the demise of our people through this book, right?
Man,
so there you go, right there.
How?
Yeah,
Explain that. How people through this book.
Because we got people like
Let me
Keon.
respond to him directly. But hold on. Oh, I thought you were done. I'm sorry. Go
Okay,
ahead.
I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna finish because when I say it's like a it's like a two-way street when I'm saying that. Some people are, dummied down by the Bible, and some are not. But with the thing I'm saying is the effect that it has on our Black African people. When you see a church on every street in America, every other street in the whole United States, that's influence. And when you see these books and these words throughout the world, and you see us Black people, like that last guy said, we on our knees praying because we've been more spiritual than any other class of people. Our spiritual being came from the stars, the moon, the sun. We were spiritual people from the get-go. So all I'm gonna say this, and I'm done with it. The influence of Christianity and the way that it was colonization, all of that stuff was pushed upon us. So now we all in a trick bag and all scrambled up.
Economically messed up, politically messed up.
All of it.
Yeah, because believing in the sky.
All right, let Q play his video, y'all.
Yeah, let me just play this real quick because it dovetails exactly with what sa.neter just played.
Go ahead.
I was gonna hold this to play on my stream, but here we go.
Pray, bitch. Okay?
Can y'all hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pray, bitch. Okay? While the doctors is gonna be praying on your ass and praying on your children and praying on your community, you keep on praying while they are PREYing on your ass. They have no tools, no weapons, but they talking about no weapon formed against me shall prosper. It won't work. Bitch, they all have worked, ho. Every weapon they formed against your stupid ass has fucking prospered.
Everyone.
White supremacy.
What happened, man?
Keon, where you at?
Hello, Sai, you on mute. Sai, you on mute.
Nah, you got to bleep out all the profanity, brother.
Okay.
Yeah,
So basically, what the sister was saying is, just what you just played, exactly what you just played, is that when the brother was saying like we on our knees and we keep praying, what the sister's saying is like, yeah, y'all keep praying, PRAYing, they're PREYing on y'all, and while y'all singing these hymns in the churches, the same way that we were singing these same hymns in the cotton field, nobody, those what did they say? The spaceships, like ISUPK like to say, those spaceships were supposed to be coming for Negroes. Nothing ever came. But yeah.
Hey, also Jomo Kenyatta.
Hold on, brother. Hold on. Let me let y'all know. Neftali will be coming through soon. She's going after the Arm and Raw squad. Neftali don't play
on the monkey. She put Neftali,
Neftali don't play. She don't care who you think you are. She's going after the Arm and Raw squad and the monkey crew.
She in trouble though.
Don't say we
monkeys. Fire. Neftali ain't she's not afraid of none of y'all, boy. Believe me. She coming after y'all.
Hey, son.
That's good. That's good.
Jomo Kenyatta, the president of Kenya, Jomo Kenyatta said, when the white man came to his country, they all held hands and bowed their head and prayed. When he opened his eyes, he had the Bible in the hand, and they had his whole country.
Right. Hey, but Neftali, if you hear me, Neftali, hold on. If you hear me,
wasn't helping. You ran.
Yo, y'all don't hear me talking?
I'm sorry.
Neftali, if you hear me, you see the three little monkeys right there? You should have put Cedric right there as one. What's the girl name? Q. What's the girl name?
Put me right there. I don't know what girl you talking about.
Yeah, Juju. Cedric, Juju, and Cube, the three monkeys.
That's it. Yeah, put me right. No. Put me. What Unc is at? Put me at.
Nah, that's the Unc. That's the Unc right there, bro.
I'm the one with the monkey doctrine. What you mean?
Oh,
you
man.
actually said he was a monkey. So that's a little different.
Yeah, that'll be fire right there. That's gonna be fire right there.
I love it.
Probably ain't scared of none of y'all.
You know?
Can believe. All right,
sa.neter,
you know on all that.
sa.neter, you know why she's doing it like
They don't want to understand you.
because the pseudo killers always say that people that don't believe in science must have some type of mental illness. Like that's one of the things that they say. So this is beautiful. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I
It's
love the
beautiful.
monkeys in the straight jacket. And no disrespect, well, I don't know if it's no disrespect, but yeah, those brothers, man, they're science believers. They can't even get out of their own way. So I like how she put Charles Darwin in the straight jacket too. So I love that. I love it.
Can belief in evolution be a sign of mental illness?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me ask you: is this a presentation or is this like?
No, this is a presentation. It's a presentation.
Oh, it's gonna be
What
trash.
is going down?
When is this happening? What was the date on that?
I'm gonna get the official flyer probably tonight or tomorrow with the date on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to jump back in, Q.
Yeah, go ahead.
Religion is, and these are not my words. I heard one of the master teachers, elders, say it somewhere else. But religion is codified culture. That's what religion is.
I disagree, brother.
So when you have specific religions, they really are just a culture of a people put in a formal system. So every religion comes with a specific culture. If you want to be within the Hindu religion, then you are going to have to practice and take on Hindu culture. If you want to be within, for example, I don't know, Shinto or whatever, we know how it goes. Islam, you're going to have to be within certain aspects of different culture. So religion is codified culture. Now, when it comes to the Bible, if I give my son or daughter the Bible and they want to be the best Christian that they want to be, where are they going to be directed towards the source of the good things that are coming from the Bible?
Stop right there. Stop right there. Let me answer you that question and then finish your thought. Hold that thought. So when you're saying, why does it matter where it comes from? If it's good things and if it's good tidings, why does it matter where it comes from?
Because the best things for African people come from things that are based around Africa, not around some made up places or even places that are maybe associated like Mesopotamia, so on and so on. Those are not the
let me ask you this real quick. Wouldn't the best things for Africa be the things that are good for Africa?
Of course.
That's subjective. What's good? So if a European says,
hold on. I know I'm touching that bone, that funny bone.
No, it's a subjective statement you made.
No. I'm not making the subjective argument. He's making it.
No, when you say the good thing, the word good is subjective in the statement because if it says Africans are going to have water, but we're going to have the diamonds, but water's a good thing. Okay. Is that a good thing?
Now watch this. You were very keen on listening to my subjective word. What subjective word did he use?
I wasn't keen on it because
I know exactly. I know it's okay. It's okay.
What was it, Q? What was it?
I'm not here to attack you, but he said the best thing for his son. The word was the best. That is subjective. So he said the best thing. So what I said, well, isn't a good thing, which can lead to best, isn't a good thing is what's best, like good things for Africa? That's what I'm trying to ask the brother. Yeah. So if a thing is good for your son, isn't it best that he do that thing?
This is how we know it's not the best thing because the people, the kingdoms and the empires that have been ruled by Christianity and the Bible have been the most oppressive and dangerous to the people that look like us.
Can we prove that?
And they've had hundreds of years to exemplify and evidence that, and the evidence is very clearly right there on the wall.
But there's hundreds of more years of evidence of them doing the opposite. Like you're ignoring the opposite so you can push your narrative and your point right now.
So when Keon says opposite, or Keon, are you saying let's say it was only 100 Africans on the planet Earth.
Charities,
Are you saying?
outreaches. There was
No, I'm
Christian
asking you
people
this
who was
question.
literally
My
opening
question is
slaves to
this.
get out. Like there's
Okay,
a
but I
total
see that they could
opposite
do
of what
one
the
or two
Christian faith
things
has done.
with one or two people, and then you override and overtalk it, trying to prove that point. But we're saying if there's 100 people,
Because he's ignoring it.
totality, and they all was doing what they, you know what I'm saying, under the Christian rule, did they all, or was it half? Was it 3%, 2%? What is the percentage of
My
good
point
opposed to the
again, for
bad?
you to interrupt me and to say that is ridiculous. My point again to you, doctor, is what I'm trying to say is that you cannot ignore the hundreds of examples that the Christian faith has done on the opposite aspect, which is to do the right thing towards people. You can't do that and then try to push a narrative just to say they've done all these things to black people and this is why black people shouldn't do that. That's ridiculous to me.
Well, that's to you. You said it right. Only one little insignificant person.
That's why I said to me that
Yeah,
again.
I
So
mostly
thank you.
listen. I mostly disagree with Keon, but on this, I have to agree because when we're talking about a thing that is subjective, when we talk about best, good, most, better, best, these things are all subjective because what's best for me may be for the person who killed my mother to go to prison, but what's best for you as the person of the child of that person is for him to be out.
Hold
So
on a
these
minute.
things.
Hold on a minute. We don't know what would have been best as an alternative to the Christian religion, because the
But it's
Christian religion.
subjective
Hold on
though.
a minute. Hold on a minute.
We do
Let him
now
finish,
Because
though.
dude.
hold
Let him
on a
finish,
minute.
dude.
Hold on a minute. Because the Christian religion and the Christian imperialism that has been perpetuated by those who have put their society through colonialism and empire throughout history hasn't allowed for anything else to develop. So we don't
They
know.
killed it.
We don't know how. And when the brother talks about charities and outreach and so on, most of that need, so-called need for charity and outreach, was actually predicated on the devastation that Christianity caused to those areas.
Yes, you're
That's
right. Hold on. You're
Prove
right.
it.
that is
No, he's
why.
not. Prove it.
Listen. You're 100% right. You're
No, he's not.
100%.
Yes, he is.
No, bro. Listen, he's 100% right on that. It's because we can see that the Europeans, when they came, they brought us their religion, and then they came under the guise of civilizing the Native Americans. They came under the guise of civilizing Africans, but the only thing that they were actually doing is extorting resources and killing and murdering people.
That's
This
right.
is what they did.
Keon, what do you got to
right.
say to that?
So he's
This is an
100%
opinion.
right, bro.
That's
He's
This is an
right.
100%
opinion.
right
This is
on that.
not a specific.
This
There's
is
no
a fact,
proof that
it's
one
Keon.
not
You
is
a
don't
in front of
study
it.
opinion. That's a
world
fact.
history,
No,
Bro,
Keon. You're
I'm
living
about
in
to
a
have an
fantasy.
bro.
emotional. I'm not about to have an emotional
Give
back
you.
and forth rant about what you think about what they did.
It's
It's
I'm
not.
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 We
He's
got it
They
on
talking
didn't say
paper.
that
We
facts.
into
got
me. I'm not about to
historical
go by that.
facts. We got
You
historical
you
facts.
have historical facts that you read and interpreted to white people came under the fact that they try to
Now
civilize
you
them and
know
then
why
Yes.
they
extorted them.
came.
Oh man, I
Theo,
don't know.
come
This
Yes.
dude
on,
is a
man.
That's your
cancer to
I
us.
interpretation.
gave you more
Again, that's
credit
your
than what
interpretation at
I'm
the
gonna
end of the
give you
day.
now.
I'm just
Hold
gonna say
on.
this: everything on Earth has a cancer. Keon is an anti. He's a cancer. He's born that way. That's him.
Sure,
I'm
brother.
not mad at him. That's just his way of thinking, Keon.
Yeah, I ain't
We're
mad at.
not
I ain't mad
going
at
on
AIDS
what we
either.
think.
I just
I'm
don't
mad
want.
that you can call
Yo,
me a
yo,
cancer, but
one
you can't
at a
give me
time.
a.
One at a time, y'all. Come on, man. Every time I go, it's like chaos. Y'all gotta come on, one at a time.
All right, go ahead, Keon, and I'll respond after you. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I'm just all I wanted to say was I'm glad that you can sit up here and call me a cancer, but you can't give me an actual argument back to what I said. You probably don't even remember what I said, which is actually even
Well,
more
let me give
ridiculous.
you an argument.
No,
Let
I'm
me
not
give you an
talking about
argument.
you. I'm not talking about you, Q, but you
No,
can go
no,
ahead.
that's
But
fair. No, that's fair. But because
oh,
because
okay, go
the
ahead. Go
reason
ahead.
why I want to give you an argument because I agree on some of the things that you actually are saying because you are right. But the thing is, when we take a person like King Leopold, this person came to Africa under the guise of humanitarianism and civilizing the African people, which I brought out in my debate about a week or so ago. But what he ended up doing is he ended up setting back.
Wait a minute before you continue. Based off
Go ahead.
what? What are you basing this? He
On the
came as a
killing, on
humanity.
the. Oh my God,
Bro,
man, Keon, I don't know what's wrong with
Let
that
me
dude.
ask you this one question. Just one question, Keon.
Well, can you answer
Do
my question first? It was a
no,
genuine question. I
You
wasn't
can't
being dis.
okay,
answer
I really
question
want to
with
know
a
where you're getting that
question.
from.
Okay,
Yeah,
listen.
you
Well,
can't answer the question. Yeah.
let me answer. No, let me answer, and then I'm gonna ask you a question because it's gonna dictate where it goes from here. So where I'm
Okay.
getting where I'm getting this information from is from history. This is where I'm getting it from. So
Where
now,
specifically? Where specifically?
well, we get it from the mouths of the people that were around during King Leopold's
What
time.
book? What
We have.
source? What like?
Hold on,
That's
bro.
you
You
don't know what a
asked me,
source is now.
bro. You asked me, bro. You asked me, bro. You asked me. So now we can get it from the
Man
people
said
that come
history.
from. We can get it from the mouths of those people. We also see footage, we have video footage, and we also have images of these people. We also have images of these people when they weren't able to meet these quotas to what King Leopold did. What King Leopold did in Congo is he went to extract the rubber away from Congo. And if they weren't able to meet these quotas, he chopped off their hands. And he chopped off their hands so their family members would work harder. So when you look at World War One, think about this, bro. I don't know
How
if you
was
know
that
this.
muted?
I don't know, brother. But
Because you keep on adding in. I just one mic.
Because this
Let
is
him
a
finish.
conversation. First of all, this was my conversation. So again, Cube and me was going back and forth. That's why. But go ahead, Cube. Go ahead. My bad. I just thought this was a conversation. Go ahead.
right. So when you begin to look at World War One, but before that, what you begin to see is you had all of the European nations. They all came together, including America. They came together and they came together to dice up Africa. And they diced up Africa. Once they left that committee, America left with nothing. But all
That
of
was
the
the Berlin Conference, man.
right, yeah, come on, y'all know this. That's what I'm saying.
That's
Okay.
why I don't know why he don't know it. He man.
That's what it's basic
Younger
knowledge.
than us.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
basic. Well,
Humanitarian motivations is what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the history of what happened. The humanitarian motivations is what I'm looking for specifically. Because that's what you
all right.
said.
Bro, he came under the guise of humanitarianism because when they broke up Africa, what they convened on is, hey, we're Europeans, we are more advanced than them. So let's
So
go
you're
to Africa.
okay.
Bro,
Okay,
please
then
let me
give me
finish,
the
bro. Please
source.
let me
You're
finish because you
not
don't
answering my
know.
question. Oh my God,
Bro,
bro.
I'm trying to
And this
explain
is
it to
what we
you.
allowed to talk. The people that just wants to babble and not answer the question. I'm asking for a source that they came for the guys of quote unquote civilizing them instead of actually doing what they did,
Bro,
which was
listen, the
break
You
them
gotta
source.
down and
Hold on,
split
hold on,
them
hold
out.
on, hold on. Hold on.
brother.
You know what? I'm gonna end it
Not
right here
even
and I'm gonna let somebody
comprehend what
else
you're
speak.
telling me.
The source is the transcripts of the Berlin Conference itself.
God,
That's what it
never mind,
is.
bro.
I don't have
Never
like
mind.
it's ridiculous to
Continue the
even ask
conversation.
this. It's
You right.
ridiculous to ask it. But go ahead,
You
somebody
right.
else talk because it's
Well,
not
well,
getting
tell him,
through.
All right,
Cube.
all I
That's
want to ask is if we seen a little Asian up here battling at his elders that was Asian, he would be an ostracized little bastard. This little dude is disrespecting all these elders that's way smart, like we're just little minions.
Because y'all okay, I'm pretty sure his elders wouldn't be up here babbling about or crying about how Christians that hurt the black people so
They
much,
do it all the
even though it's
time,
just a
man.
book.
Man.
Yeah, get
you
upset
see
because you know I'm
you
right.
see the hands that the thing is left in. Yeah. So what you need to do, Keon, is look at the papers to the Berlin Conference so you can see the reasons why they started to dissect Africa, the way they approached Africa, and the way they viewed Africa. You find things in there like these savages, they're not fit to do things like be full men. Which you found later when Christianity brought you to the Americas, you weren't considered a full human being yet. You were 3/4 of a man. So these are the roots of those things, but you have to read. So if you don't read and you just talk, you'll never get to the bottom of these things. We all knew from his reference of the Berlin Conference what was going on because we've read it.
Yeah, because y'all all
You haven't
indoctrinated.
read it. You got to read
Yeah,
it.
I know. Yeah, I know.
So we're
Because y'all all
indoctrinated
indoctrinated.
because we understand history,
It's
bro.
not an
Yeah, because
indoctrination.
y'all
That's
all
just
come from the same. So
comprehending
y'all
what's
all
going
come
on.
from the same people, the doctors and the lawyers and all these people that came
Bro,
from
you
the
gotta
'90s
grow up,
and
bro.
And we
stuff like
made
Yeah,
this
that.
that's
Hold on,
We
real.
hold on. You
all
know
Yeah.
what?
come.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
Watch
on.
the
because
same.
you didn't
We all
read.
watch the same. Wait a minute. We all watch the same YouTube videos, brother. We come. I'm just
You
Let me
saying.
don't
ask
We
you
watch
see.
the
one
YouTube
question.
This is
videos.
the same
We
stuff we
make the
all hear.
YouTube
It's okay.
Hold
videos. You're
on, sir. Hold
forgetting
on,
that.
One
sir.
mic,
Hold on.
one mic, one mic.
Yeah, they won't even let me talk. This is how it's been the whole time, though. Go ahead.
Let me ask you one Let me ask you one question. What was the last book you read?
I don't read
The
books,
name
brother.
of it.
He
The
don't read.
title.
That's
Hold on,
it.
hold on,
Don't
hold on, hold
read.
on.
I
Give me
don't
the
read books.
title and the author of the last book you read.
The
He said he
I don't
Bible.
read.
doesn't. He doesn't
Don't
The
give
read,
me one
Cube.
I just said I
specific.
don't read books. I literally just said
So
I don't
that's
read
it,
books.
Cube. You can't deal with him.
Wow, we're
Can't
done.
deal with me. We're done. Thank you. Thank you. So why can we
Have
go
y'all
into
ever
what's
heard
the
of?
most?
And I know y'all did.
Go ahead.
Have y'all ever heard of Cecil Rose?
Oh my! Oh wow! The Rhodesian. Oh
Well,
wow!
Cecil Rose is responsible for carving up Africa.
Yeah, he stands on top like a giant
Yeah,
with
he
ropes
stands
everywhere.
on the map. He stands on the map of Africa, letting the world know that this is me. So he's the one that carved it up and chopped it up and said this part gonna be for the British, this part is for me, this part is he did that. Cecil Rose.
What was the name of
In
the
the
place
name of
besides
humanitarianism.
Rhodesia before it turned to his name today? Is that South Africa? One of the places was called Rhodesia in his name.
Man,
Right.
let's go around the horn, man. What's the last book y'all read? Let's just do it because I don't know. Let's go around the
Y'all about
horn.
to
What's the
lie.
last
Y'all
Take
book
don't
on to
read.
y'all
Diop,
read?
A man
civilization
of
or
the South.
barbarism.
Y'all don't read.
Oh,
Stop lying.
he said y'all don't read, man.
All
Y'all
right,
don't
hold
read.
on,
Y'all
hold
sit
on,
there.
y'all.
Y'all go ahead.
Everybody, hold on, because it's time. It's time right now.
Is the only thing that you do and you are losing, but you think you're winning. That's the only thing in life where
I want that to sink in right there. Listen again.
religion is the only thing that you do and you are losing, but you think you're winning.
Religion is the only thing that you're doing. You think you're winning, but you're losing. Let's see what he's talking about. Watch this. Deep.
Religion is the only thing that you do and you are losing, but you think you're winning. That's the only thing in life where a woman would lose her child and then say it is God's will. An accident will happen and claim 10 people, and God's will was done. So no matter how bad the situation is, God wanted it like that. How can God want Nigeria, where we pray 20 times a day, to be this poor, but then China, where praying is banned, that's successful? China went through the Great Famine. 50 million people died in around that 1960 period. Meanwhile, Nigeria's entire population in 1960 was 45 million. So it's like all of Nigeria plus another small country died in China. The Nigerian naira was stronger than the Chinese currency. Today, China is borrowing us money.
So you think you're winning, but you're really losing, because the minute something happened in the family, what you do, you say, well, now he's with God now. Now he's in heaven now. You see how religion pacifies us and makes us so goddamn dumb and stupid, Keon? You understand, Keon?
Oh, now I'm done. Oh wow.
No, I didn't say you were dumb. I'm saying, do you understand how it
Dumb and
makes
stupid,
like,
Keon. Yeah, sure, side. Anyway,
let me
so
go to
at the
another
end of
one.
the
I'm
day,
gonna go to another one. Hold
all right,
on.
bro.
Check this
All right,
out.
bro.
This is real stuff.
Begin to express how tired I am that
Y'all really
people who
scared of me.
believe
Like,
in
we be real.
talking snakes, that women came from the rib of a man. I cannot begin to express how tired I am that people who believe in talking snakes, that women came from the rib of a man, and that believe that a man went to heaven in a chariot of fire, and that a man is coming back to rule the world all over again, are making all of these decisions for the rest of the globe. Everything that we see happening in the Middle East and also here in the United States are built upon these foundations of religious fucking nonsense. Whether we're talking about Judaism or Islam, or we're talking about Christianity and religion in all of its forms, the utter bullshit of it all. Fighting over, God promised this land to us. We are God's special people. We are the chosen ones, the apple of God's eye. And then you have the Christians who go along with it because it's in the Bible. And so we're commanded to support this group of people because God told us to. The amount of destruction, the amount of wars that have happened throughout history based on religious bullshit is staggering. It is staggering. These religions control and manipulate people with fear and most of all with nonsense. People have to put aside their logical reasoning skills, put aside their thinking brain in
Think
order to
about it.
buy in to this propaganda of BS. These texts were written, some of them thousands of years ago, some of them hundreds of years ago, and yet people just dive in head first, buying in to all of the bullshit. And in the process, they don't care who they destroy. They don't care whose lives they rip apart. They don't care who they discriminate against. They sure like to tell us that they have freedom of religion and blah, blah, blah. We are a Christian nation and we should be founded upon these principles of Christianity, and they should have the freedom to have their religion, do whatever they want. But when it comes to the freedom of the secular people, the people who don't believe, or people who believe differently than they do, they're not about freedom anymore. No, in fact, they want to bring in the most ridiculous things like blasphemy laws. They want to tell us how to live our lives. Are you gotta be kidding? And these are the people who are making the decisions. People who believe in flat earths, talking snakes, magic sky fairies, global floods. Give me a fucking break with this stuff, man. Come on, I'm tired of it. The world should be tired of it. We have watched religion kill hundreds of thousands of people through the friggin' centuries, non-stop, in the name of some God, in the name of some savior, in the name of some messiah, in the name of some king. We're sick of it. Religion is nothing but toys and fairy tales for adults. It is time to grow up and to start thinking and acting like adults. I'm fine with your religion as long as you're not trying to legislate your religion onto me. I'm a free person. I should be able to do whatever the hell I want. And I'm fine with your religion. Go out and spread it to the masses if you want. Whoever wants to believe, go ahead and believe. But I'm not fine with you forcing it down our throat. I'm not fine with you passing laws that says we have to teach it in schools. I am not fine with you bombing other nations in the name of a mythical god. There have been so many gods on this planet, thousands and thousands and thousands of them, and they've all fallen by the wayside. It's time for you to grow up, start being an adult, and put your silly little toys away. Like, share, follow for more. This is Grim with Get the Rant, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Goodbye.
sa.neter, can I jump in?
Another been on that
Jump in.
One of the big problems, though, is that people are using the term religion when actually, and I don't want to say too much about it, but actually they're talking about a certain group of people and the way that they have systemized what we are calling religion and the impacts on it. Because it's really, as people are saying, it's not necessarily the religion itself, because we know that someone could believe in the Bible and be a very good person, and another person could believe in the Bible. For example, we just had this guy in the UK who actually killed somebody with a samurai sword. He killed a boy on his way to school, and he was talking about, God and the devil and all of these different things. So we can have these different people. One could be good and one could be bad. The problem is the religion and the way that we have adopted the specific religion from a specific set of people. That's the real problem. So what he's talking about because if you don't have that religion, what is going to fill the vacuum that religion has created, or the infrastructure that religion has created for people? What's going to fill their morality, so on and so on? Our people don't have any culture anymore. So when they don't have that religion, that's when you see them actually becoming even worse than what they were with the religion, which is one of the big issues.
Brother,
Who don't
in the
have a
UK,
culture?
in the UK, do you guys have laws in the UK?
Of course we have laws, but what's that got to
So
do with
let's
anything?
say, I'm about to tell you. So
Yeah.
what if we were to eviscerate and evaporate every single Bible that exists and it all just disappeared tomorrow? Would you guys in the UK still have laws?
Of course.
So when you say what are you gonna replace it with, you guys still have laws today that you follow.
Yeah, but laws don't set your way of life and how you run your way of life as a person, as a culture. The law doesn't. When I get up in the morning, I listen to Bob Marley. That's not because of a law that's set in place. That's because of an inner spirituality, an inner a
But you
value
missing it,
system that
brother.
I have for myself, not
But you
because of
kind of
any law.
but you kind of missing what I'm trying to tell you is
I miss.
that right. So you say we have nothing to replace it with. We have nothing to replace it with. So when you have a cancer and like let's say your woman has breast cancer, hopefully that never happens. But if your woman gets breast cancer and then the doctor removes that, what do you want the doctor to put in place of that cancer?
I don't want anything in place for that.
So now when you ask me, oh well, what are we gonna do in place of this religion? Why would you
No,
want any? Hold
that's
on,
not
hold
what
on,
I
hold on. Let me
said.
finish.
It
Let me
wasn't a
finish.
plea. It wasn't a plea. What we're gonna do. What it was pointing out that because we need to actually return back to our culture to fill
Right,
the
but you
void
still
that
listening.
religion has put there.
But there is no void, is what I'm trying to tell you. Because what you're doing is you're making a void. What you're trying to say is, well, if we take away religion, there's going to be a void. There is no void. What you want to go to is not the 2,000 year ago thing that the fake Hebrews are doing. You want to go back 5,000 years ago. Why are we going back 5,000 years ago instead of progressing?
One of the reasons is
All
You
right.
because
want me to answer that?
ethics is still based on what you do now. You still honor your father and mother, so your days will be long on earth. When something is right, hold up, baby. When something is right, you don't discard it. You use it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
That's simple.
Okay, listen, panel. For everybody on the panel, we know that Keon is our young brother, so I came at him wrong. I'm gonna reverse what I wanted to
Nah, I don't
do.
want it.
No,
I
I
don't
don't
want
want
it.
to
You
talk
ain't
to
got to.
Keon about it,
Hold that.
but
Hold
I
that,
want to
You ain't
talk
got
to
to.
you guys about it. Listen. So what I think we should do individually is we should give a suggestion from us, see if he respects us as a human like we respecting him,
I don't want
and
it.
give him a suggestion on one book he should read and give him a perspective on
I'm not gonna read it.
historical truth. Now, if he don't
You're
choose to
wasting your
read it,
time.
that's cool. But he might pick it up. But we don't need the bad because he's clearly lost. Everybody can see.
He's very
Yeah, let me
Okay,
give
immature
you a
sure.
book,
too.
Keon. Let me give you a book,
Are
Keon.
we really about
Fighting
to
the
entertain
slave
this
trade.
conversation? Can we have an actual serious conversation and not
So
entertain
what do you want to
stupid
talk
stuff? This
about,
is why
Keon? What do you want to talk about, bro?
I wish we would actually get back to the conversation about the religious stuff and
So
you
what do
know
you
because
want to
that's
talk
where we was
about?
at. Like this is ridiculous. We really
What do
about to
you
sit
want to
here and
talk
give
about,
Keon
brother?
what 7 book suggestions that I'm not going to read or care about. Like this is stupid. And you
So
was about
what
to
do you
really
want
answer
to
that
talk
question.
about, brother? Let's talk about what you
I
want to
want to
talk
talk
about.
about how you was about to really answer that question. Let's talk about that, Q. Why did you think that that was a serious conversation, Q?
I thought you want listen, what do you
Okay
want to
then.
talk
All right
about?
then.
I thought you wanted to
Okay
get
then.
back to the
Okay then.
conversation.
Okay then.
What do you
Okay
want to
then.
talk about so we can engage in
Okay then.
your folly? Like what do you want to talk about
Okay, I just told
exactly?
you what I want to talk about. So I'm not
What
going to
is it?
argue with you or go back and forth because I just told you what I want to talk about. So, anyways, let's
You
continue the
you want to talk
conversation.
about why
At the end of the
I
day, at
answered or
the end, I
attempted
don't
to
care.
answer a question?
Cube, whatever. At the end of
Sure.
the day, Rakufu, your suggestions are garbage because at the end of the day, what you believe in is based off of some type of motivation
Wow.
that I think is horribly biased. You only believe in certain things because black people wrote it. You only believe in certain things because black people said it. I don't care about that.
And
I
you only
care about
believe
the
in
good
things because
things
white
that
people
is
wrote it.
right. It's just that simple.
Well, right is white. That's what he's telling y'all. And that's code word. White is right. He only
So
cares about
because you
what his
believe in
white
something,
daddy
I believe in the
put up in
opposite.
him.
This is
He
the
wants his
dumbest stuff
white
y'all
daddy to
talking
put
about. Y'all
something
would
up in
rather
him. He's
sit up
kind
here
of
and
that's
make
kind of
jokes.
pause. No homo.
At the end of the day, y'all would rather sit up here and make jokes instead of actually combating the conversation. Just
Okay,
because I
what
say
is the
you, wait
conversation?
a minute, Cube, stop. Just because I say you believe in something, that means I believe in the opposite. No, that's slow. That doesn't even make any sense.
Ain't
I don't believe
it as
Bible
retarded for you to just tell
white
me and
wait,
dictate
minute.
what I
Oh my
believe in,
goodness.
and I'm
I don't
supposed to sit there
believe
and
in the
accept it?
Can I please stop being
No, you
interrupted?
can't. No, you
I
please
do not
can't.
believe
No,
in the
you please
Bible. I do
can't.
not believe in the Bible because white people wrote it. That is a silly conversation to even
So
have
now,
because white people didn't
hold
even
on, don't
write
do
it.
it, don't
There
do it.
wasn't
We
no
feeding
such thing
into it.
as a white person. That white people didn't write it. So that's ridiculous for you to even say that. So at the end of the day, why do you believe
Can you read Hebrew? Can you read
only
Hebrew?
something
Don't
Can
is
do it,
you
right?
brother.
read
Stop,
Hebrew?
stop.
Stop
Just let him
White
go.
people did write the book
interrupting
you read.
me.
White
Whatever.
people
I
did
don't
write the book
care.
you
Keon, get
read.
to your point
So
because you're
what?
talking real
At the
long
end
and you
of
ain't
the,
said nothing
I
yet.
mean,
What
I
exactly
was
were you
just
trying
about
to
to, I
get
was
at?
just about to ask the question, but he interrupted me. At the end of the day, Kufu, why do you believe that things are only right because black people wrote it? Why do you believe that?
Why? I want to
That's a
know,
good
why do you
question.
believe I only believe because black people? I want to know, where'd you even get that
I mean,
in
is
your
it a
brain?
coincidence that everything that you
Keon, don't cut
supposedly
him
Oh,
want
off
so
to
while
you're
he
believe in is
answering you. Let
assuming
somehow
him answer you.
by
in
what
Africa?
you
Is
see,
it in
you're
Africa?
assuming it.
It's just a
Okay,
coincidence?
Bro, we're
white
not
people.
getting
Let me say
anywhere with
this.
this.
Let me say
Sure,
this.
brother.
White people. Charles Darwin said life started in Africa. So is that a black person I'm believing in or a white person?
Again, my point
Check,
was, I
Again,
don't
come
care
on, man.
what
Come
color,
on, man.
check.
because you're asking me a question that I don't care about. I could care less who color
I
it
don't.
was. So
Me.
it's
Shut
stupid.
up, little boy.
It's not my fault that you asked dumb questions.
Go play with your
You're
little.
a grown 40-year-old man, and you let me get you out your body because
No,
you
man,
asked
because
stupid questions. That's not
you
my
need a
fault.
whooping. You need your butt whooped.
And you need some hair.
Yeah, Keon gotta go. I'm sorry,
That's
brother. You're
real.
not adding anything to the conversation. You just want to be combative for no reason,
Oh,
bro.
now you gotta go after he called me
Well,
a
let's move
bastard
on to
and all
something
kinds of
else.
Q,
things.
Let's
I
Wow.
move
want to
on.
continue what we were saying, Q.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Let's converse with that.
I think I listen to you all the time on sa.neter, so I know you're very intelligent. So I think you're being a bit naive in the fact that in terms of if because I went to Hampton University, right? I've been all over the states, so on and so on. So
That's what's up.
have you been to UK?
No, but I would love to one day, brother.
Fine. If you came to London, do you think what you see in London will be that much different than what you see in New York?
Yes, I do. I do think it would be different.
Okay. Who do you think will dominate? Who will be the ethnic minority in London? Who do you think?
That's a different question. So when you say
Who
what I see,
cares?
Yeah,
so when
what
you
you
say
see.
so when you say what I see, what you're thinking is that I'll probably watch the London news. I don't watch that. I
No,
watch.
no, 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 no. Okay, I don't want to draw it out. I'll just answer. So if you come to London, you're going to see more European people than you'll see black people. If you go to New York, you're going to
That's
see
fair.
you're going to see more European people than you're going to see black people. If
Yeah,
you
that's
come to
fair.
London, you're going to see, cars, you're going to see buildings in a European style, you're going to
That's
see
fair.
churches. If you go to New York, you're going to see the same thing. If you come to London, you're going to see McDonald's, Burger King. You come to New York, so on and so
That's
on and so
fair.
on.
That's fair.
Fine. You go to Germany, you're going to see the same thing. If you go to Australia and Sydney, you're going to see the same thing. So this void that I'm talking about, that when religion, Christianity in particular, is not there, what people will automatically turn to, which is now the new religion, is basically European commercialism, which is underpinned by or underpins global white supremacy.
There you
So
go.
Good answer.
The reason I'm talking about culture so much is that if we don't actually have something to give to our children, for example, as an alternative, you're going to see this cookie cutter young people, youth coming out just the same way you see today. When you come to London, you're going to see the youths walking around with the pants, the trousers. We say pants over here. The trousers. We say trousers over here. You say pants, sagging, right?
Right.
Proper sagging. Now you see the girls doing it as well. You're going to see them wearing do-rags and bonnets and balaclavas and so on. It's the same thing because they don't have any more culture. And unless we're able to give them a cultural alternative that's rich, that has history, that which was taken away from us and replaced by Christianity in particular, then the value systems that we need for them to be successful and long living are not going to be there. Last point, because them same things that go with that commercialized European white supremacist world system. Also, it's the same thing that brings about diabetes, high rates of cancer, you know, all of this dumbing down of the society that we see.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
where it comes from.
All right, so let me
I agree
respond.
100%.
Let me respond to this by saying this first off. About 5-6 years ago, I used to be one of those people that would wear my pants sagging, and I remember I saw my daughter come in my room, and she had her pants sagging. I'm like, girl, what is you doing? She's like, Dad, I'm trying to be like you. That was the last day that you ever saw Cube with his pants sagging. This was
Hello.
about 6 years ago.
Hello.
That was the last day that you ever seen me with my pants sagging. So I'm not against showing people something better. I'm not against that.
Coach.
What was the
I would hold
what
on,
was
hold
the
on, hold on.
alternative you
Hold on,
gave
hold on,
us?
hold on, hold on, hold
Okay,
on, watch
I'll
this.
hold the
Hold on, watch this.
question.
I'm about to answer
Sagging
you. I'm
at
about to
30 is
answer you.
crazy.
I'm about to answer you. But when you say, well, what do we replace it with? Well, we replace it with something that's different, something that is better. Something that's different, something that is better. So I agree with you when you come from that point of view. But when you talk about religion and you talk about these things that we've been following for, eons, if you will, nothing that we do today is going to replace that. Because you want to replace a cancer and you want to replace it with another cancer. My thing is, no, I'm an atheist, brother. I don't think that we have to take a cancer, try to reform it, and put it and package it back and sell it to the people. Because right now, here in today, in the UK, you got how many parties do you
Can't
guys have in
agree
the
with
UK?
that,
You have
Q.
about 6 or 7 parties, right?
Yeah.
Politically. In America, we only have two.
No, we have three.
Well,
Actually,
technically,
there's
what?
more
What?
than that.
No,
Three. We have three,
technically,
Q.
Independent party. Yeah.
technically, it's unlimited.
Yep, that's right,
But
Asad.
it's unlimited, but we really have two.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
So
three.
I didn't vote for Democrats or Republicans. I voted for Dr. Jill Stein, which is the Green Party, which I'm a member of. That's neither here nor there.
Ah.
So what I'm trying to say is, in the UK, you guys can replace a political party. You guys can replace a McDonald's or a Burger King with a Whole Foods. You can replace that. But when you talk about replacing a religion, what you're trying to do is take one cancer that's already problematic and replace it with another.
No, no,
I
no,
do
Q.
I
You
do
are.
not think I
Cancer is
do
crazy.
not
So
I
here's the
do
question.
well, let me just finish
Thank
real
you.
quick.
You've been talking for
But
like
you
5 minutes,
off,
bro.
Cube. I
Well,
gotta
let me
stop you.
let me
I
just
gotta
finish.
stop you because you off, bro. You
Yeah, I
when
want to come
he
up here and get
you saying
lectures.
replace a cancer, what we saying is replace it with culture, not a cancer.
And
Okay.
do you think
Well,
that
let me finish now.
spirituality
Go
is
ahead, Q.
is a cancer? Do you think that actual just spirituality as a whole is a
Okay,
cancer?
well, see, this is the problem with this woman that's talking is because she's talking about spirituality. But if I ask her what spirituality is, and I ask 10 more other people what spirituality is, I'm not going to get the same answer. So
Because
if I
it's
Well,
get,
it's
different
a
so
for
cancer in
hold
the
on, wait,
everybody.
hold
solution,
on,
though.
wait,
It's
but
a
hold on, wait.
cancer.
I
But
can
hold
tell you
on,
what
but wait,
spirituality
hold
is.
on, but wait. I said, if I ask, that's what I said. If I ask.
He
So
just
if I
saying we'll
ask
differ in
her,
our answer concerning what it
right.
is.
Yeah, exactly. So if I ask her what is spirituality, she's gonna give me an answer. If I go to the brother Saw, I'm going to get an answer of what spirituality is. If I go to the brother Keon, he's gonna give me some Christian babble. If I go to Rakufu, he's gonna tell me what spirituality is to him. So
You know you're
this
not
is what I'm
answering the
saying.
question, right?
There is no
Right.
there is no
Like you're not
definition.
answering the question.
There is no definition of spirituality. When we look at replacing this with culture, bro, the culture is already in place. And what's ingrained
Yo,
into the
culture
culture,
can be changed, Q.
bro, no,
Q,
I'm not
question
saying
was,
that
is
the culture can't
spirituality a
be,
cancer?
bro,
Is
I'm not saying
spirituality
the
a
culture
cancer?
cannot be changed. Bro,
Okay,
I'm not
bro. I
saying the
got
culture
you.
can't
I
be
got you.
changed.
I
I'm a
got you.
communist. I believe the culture can be changed. And in order for us to do better, the culture must change. I believe in that. So I don't believe in just taking something away and not doing anything. What I believe in is taking away the cancer and stop eating damn McDonald's. That's what I believe in. Is
So, but
taking
what
away this
the
garbage
question
and
is
replacing it with
spirituality
something
a
that's
cancer?
better. But what's better is not a God. Go
But
ahead, sister.
what? Okay, is spirituality a cancer in your eyes?
Okay, well, see, she forced me to do it, so let's go ahead and do it. What is
Just say
spirituality,
yes.
sister?
Oh my goodness, bro. Can we move on? Forget it. Let's move
No,
on.
no, no,
It's
bro. Be
ridiculous.
quiet. What is spirituality, sister?
I believe that spirituality, and I would say I believe.
I
Right?
believe. There you go. I
Okay.
believe. Go
Okay,
ahead.
but hold on. In my opinion, spirituality is what makes up your morals and what your beliefs are individually.
Okay, good.
Whatever the things that
Rakufu.
you are willing to like die on that hill for, and whatever your morals are, and and everything that you are that makes up what you understand life to be, that is your
Okay.
spirituality. I think individually,
Okay.
each
Okay.
individually, I think that spirituality deals with the
Okay.
individual
Okay.
versus the group. So each
Okay.
person can have their own spirituality.
Okay, good. So what she just told you was spirituality is something that she believes, and then she brought us to morals. So what spirituality is her particular morals. Rakufu, what is spirituality to you, good brother?
Oh my goodness, it's
Each
commie babble.
individual spiritual
You gotta
moral.
unmute yourself, brother. You gotta unmute yourself.
I
I would
gotta
say
unmute
is
myself.
I would say spirituality would have to do with the word spirit, root word meaning breath, how you
Mm,
control
mm,
your
mm.
breath and take care of your system, you're balancing your temple, which is your human body on planet Earth to the best and full of its potential while
Okay,
on Earth.
freeze right there.
No, I ain't
Freeze right
finished. I
there.
got no, I gotta just say the
That's
last
pretty
part. Let
much
me get it off. And
saying
that hope,
everything I
you
said.
know, and keep your spirit as best you can. And as you move on to the next realm, hopefully you'll be intact. You know, that's all I can
Okay,
tell you.
good. So now let me ask Keon, what is spirituality? I
No,
hate that
don't
I have
ask
to
me
do this.
nothing. This is ridiculous.
Okay,
You
good.
don't. You're
Okay,
not
never mind.
asking her
Hey, Dr.
question.
David Roots, let me
Sa.neter,
ask
stop
you.
letting him run the
Dr.
show.
David
He's
Roots,
not
Dr.
answering
David
people's
Roots,
question and
what
going
is
on
One
5 minute
mic,
spirituality?
rant.
one mic,
It's
one fucking
ridiculous.
mic, man. God
This is
damn.
ridiculous.
Sorry for cursing, man, but come on, one mic.
Dr. David
One mic.
Roots, what? Thank you. Dr.
Can
David
you
Roots.
answer the question so we can move
Bro,
on?
stop,
Chill,
bro. Be
brother.
quiet.
Chill.
Dr. David Roots, what is spirituality?
Spirituality is a practice that allows
Mm.
you to identify the divine within.
So right there, we just got three different answers. So when a person asks
Three
me,
different answers saying the same thing.
hold on, sister. When a
You're
person
not gonna
asks,
ask me. You're not gonna
no,
ask me what
hey,
I
brother,
believe.
sorry, brother, I
Yo,
apologize.
yo,
For that,
hold
man.
on, hold on, hold on. The next time someone speak out of turn, you're going in the back, man. Simple as that. We got to be disciplined up here, man. One
Yeah,
at a time. I'm going to go to the next person in a minute because y'all been speaking for a minute. Come on, Cube.
yeah, I promise I'm gonna end with this. I didn't want to go through every single person. I just wanted to go like the 2 or 3 people, just to show that when you talk about spirituality, they don't say the same thing. These are different things. So I appreciate Rakufu's example or definition. I appreciate DJ Genesis and I appreciate David Roots. I appreciate you guys, but I was trying to prove a point, and I believe that my point has been proven, and anybody can go after that.
All right, 7. Let's go, 7.
Um, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I think that when you talk about religion, man, everything that white man said was absolutely 100% correct. Most more white people think like that than black people because black people, as Cube says, are more spiritual, right? That's the word that we use to be connected to something greater than ourselves. More black people want to be connected to something naturally greater than themselves naturally. It's just a natural thing. People like Cube are part of a small percentage in our community. That's not a negative thing. That's just how the brother's outlook is, right? I agree with most of what that brother says, but when it comes to being connected to something greater than myself, I can relate to that as well because I feel that connection. Now, whatever term I want to use for that connection is going to be my own and my own definition. We happen to use the word spirituality as that. But when you talk about religion as it relates to what's better for us, when the brother said, what do we have to replace it? We had a lot of things. Our ancestors that were a better way of life, of looking of creating morals, laws, and standards that created a better way of life for us in our communities. This European gods and their practices of their religions is not the only thing that's going to be able to bring moral standards to our community. And to think that, it means you're trapped in their indoctrination to think that there's nothing other than that, when there's plenty of practices that we could point to in our own ancestral history. So I think we need to get clarity on what we really believe what spirituality is, because what we really got to understand is there's no definition and everybody has their own. And to actually just try to find some solutions of what culture that we could practice other than what this European has, he's given us. I watched the movie Sinners the other day, and Delroy Lindo's character, powerful scene when he was telling him that this cracker gave us this religion, but what this blues is, that came from back home from our ancestors, and we've carried it over here. That's what spirituality is. What was in that blues that connected him from his ancestors of the past and the future. We all have that.
Yeah, you just
We
made
all
that
have
up,
that.
brother.
All right, hold on, Cube. Yeah, I want to apologize for cursing on the platform. I wasn't cursing at none of you brothers. So it only proves that I'm still working on myself as well. I ain't better than nobody up here. Just I wanted to apologize for that. Why are you laughing?
Appreciate that.
I saw him laughing.
You
Let
know,
me
we
go
come out of
to
character sometimes when we see young behavior. We be like, yeah, I know.
yeah. Let me go to Genesis right quick. Genesis, you on the call?
Okay, well, okay, me as a person, as a practitioner of E5, you know, one thing I noticed within the African spirituality and the science of E5 is that it does not take away from you being able to practice other forms of spirituality like Buddhism, Hinduism. I can go to a church if I want to. If I want to go to a mosque, I can. It doesn't limit me. So the thing about spirituality is an individualized walk. So that's why everybody does not have a cookie cutter cutout of what their answer is, because we're all individuals. And African spirituality, well, once I got into that, and even what you would say Buddhism and different things like that, they all have like a similar thread where you're not limited to just that walk and what that thing is, you know. So that's the difference when it becomes from a religious aspect to where you're in a box. This is the truth, and if you go outside of that, you know, you're going to go to hell or whatever the whole thing is. Spirituality, it allows the individual to have its own individual walk towards its own, whether destiny. So everybody has an individual destiny. So therefore, the answers are not going to be the same. He made a statement that, he said something along the lines in the chat saying, well, if it doesn't have a one definition, then it's not real. Well, if I give everybody a plate, everybody is going to probably put, if I like have a smorgasbord of food, everybody's going to put different things on their plate. You know what I'm saying? If I give you like a whole thing of different types of food, everybody's going to put different things on it, and it's going to feed them according to what their appetite is. So that's what spirituality is, based on the individual, what feeds them. And when that, then we'll see that. But the question is it a cancer though? That was the cancer, the answer. I mean, the question though.
All right. So we going around because I'm closing out. Let me get my man Suntan in the building. Suntan.
All right, peace to the panel. And I like to just say this, no discrepancy. Peace to young Keon. He had his own journey. And I'm going to go right back to his side. I know I say this all the time. Spirituality of Cube still on. I know I think you're gone. Spirituality is in a simple, this real simple 10 seconds. Spirituality is you getting to yourself and thinking off into your own imagination and your own life about how you're going to maintain and how you're going to live and that's spirituality. It's personal. One answer is not going to be the same. Sometimes it might be, sometimes it might not. Spirituality is a personal thing that was within you. We always say the same way. So that's all I got to say. And I'm going to leave with this. Everybody has a journey. So let's just keep on living and learning. Keon, you keep living and learning. And sister, what is that, Genesis? You from Detroit, sister. I see that Detroit there. I'm right here on Southfield.
Oh, okay.
Southfield and Warren.
East side, I'm from
you
Colonial
east side,
Gardens.
okay. All right. That's all I had to say, y'all. Peace. Love the panel,
All right,
man.
all right.
Love the knowledge.
All right. Rafu, cool.
Right here, Raku Fu. All right. Listen, Genesis, I wanted to ask you this. Do you have this book? No, that's all I wanted to do is ask you if she had a book. I'm out.
All right,
this is an E5 book. Can you put it on the screen, Sa?
Yeah, I have that book.
Okay, that's all I wanted to ask you. Peace to the city of Detroit. Peace to Sa first, and I'm out.
Peace, brother. All right, Dr. David, let's go, brother.
Jabari Osazi says it all the time. Never underestimate the impact that you're having on the global African community. I really want you to know that. I'm originally from Bermuda, but I live in London right now. But people are watching you in Bermuda. People are watching you in the UK heavily. So please don't forget about us and know the impact that you're having on the global community in terms of information. So keep your shows, your information high. I do want to say, Brother sa.neter, on the last show that you had with Chief Eagle Eye, at the end, you can tell your queen I was a bit disappointed on her stance, where she started to talk about Africans, and I noticed a tone there. So hopefully, I can pick up a conversation when she's on again in regards to the feeling, because when it comes to religion, and I'll finish with this, the whole FBA movement can be interpreted as just a new way that's going to divide us, and unity is strength. So that's something for another day. I'll leave it there.
All right. Thank you, brother. All right. Thank you. Y'all can see yourself out when y'all go. Let me let y'all know that we got this coming up this weekend. Y'all don't want to miss it. Ryan have been credited for kicking Israelites behind, kicking them in the butt, kicking them to the curve. Now he's going up against one of the HOK champions. And Brother Ryan, man, you're going to have your hands full. That's all I'm going to say. You're going to have your hands full. Nepal Shada will be taking on Brother Ryan. This is going to be a powerful, powerful showdown right here, y'all. Leave some donations. Make sure y'all support the debates. Okay, Asar Mkai, you on the call, brother?
So here I go. Man, as Cube said, and we knew it was going to happen, you're going to get different answers with spirituality. But to keep it simple, it's your code, ethics, and culture that develops from your interaction with the different things in nature, from people on down around you. The problem is this. People try to make it seem like because this culture is different from that one, that there's a problem. But you exist in that type of world already anyway. So when it comes to atheism, the question needs to be asked, what do you gain from not having an opinion? Can you imagine a black person without an opinion on something, or how the world or universe came into existence? That's someone with no opinion concerning the situation. They'll say something like, just let science do it. But science was started from the spiritualists. It was started by the priest in Africa. So it's important to let yourself evolve mentally as well as spiritually. Remember, when the universe is created, it's all energy. There is no form. It's too hot to have a form. So if it's too hot to have a form, it's all spirit at that time. Something a lot of scientists don't like to agree with, but the fact is they have to face that. And with that, keep thinking, keep your quirks and sprockets turning, and be mindful of what's going on, because if you have no codes of ethics or culture, you see the type of youth that it starts to present and starts to create. And with that said, Imhotep, you'll know what it is.
All right. Thank you. Last but not least, we got our young brother Keon in the building. Brother Keon have a lot of growing to do.
Yeah.
Keon, hey, Keon, if you don't mind, how old are you, brother?
26.
26. 50 years from now, you would be like apostle if you don't get out now. There'll be no turning back if you don't get out now. You will be sounding like apostle. You are young. No, I'm saying you are young. You're going to get stuck in your ways as you get older and older. That's what I'm saying to you, brother. It's time to do some research and use common sense. And before you go, I want to leave this and then I'll let you respond after this one right here.
We've spent centuries asking, does God exist? Built cathedrals on it, waged wars over it, destroyed families and identities in the name of it. But if we're honest, we've been asking the wrong question. Because if that God does exist and still chooses silence and suffering, still watches war, genocide, abuse without lifting a divine finger, then what difference does that existence actually make? You don't pray to gravity. You don't build churches to oxygen. You breathe it. You live in it. You test it because it's there. So maybe the better question isn't, does God exist? Maybe it's, why would it matter if it did? What's the point of a God who hides behind mystery and trauma? Why worship what doesn't show up? And maybe deeper than all of that, maybe the question we're really afraid to ask is, what happens if there's no one coming? No sky parent, no cosmic judge, no backup plan, just us. Would that break you or would that free you? Because the moment we stop chasing gods that ghost us, we start finding each other. And that's holy enough for me.
Now, do you see any common sense in what he just said, brother? And I'm speaking to you, Keon.
With my 25-year-old brain, no, sir, I can't see it with my religious minded. I just can't see it unless it's old Jesus, white Jesus on the screen. Oh my goodness, no, I can't see it. Like, this is ridiculous, bro. Like, why do we keep going to TikTok video? Why is grown men showing us TikTok videos as arguments for why he say religion is bad and Jesus is wrong? And like, that's not an argument. You can't come up with an argument yourself, but yet I am the young man who doesn't know what he's talking about. You're showing us TikTok videos while I'm actually coming off the dome giving you my opinion. This is the craziness. It's not about how old you are. It's just about being honest with yourself. You're motivated by being hurt by whatever Christian person that told you was a devil too many times, and now you're up here saying that, oh no, you're actually the devil, brother. And like, it's just contrarian. And again, the thing about being conscious is not being contrary. Just because you're contrary to what everybody else believes don't mean that you're smart. It don't mean that you're conscious. It just means that you're weird and you're outside of the loop. That's all that it means. At the end of the day, whatever religion, thing, moral foundation that you want to believe in is up to you. I'm saying it doesn't matter. I rather believe in Christianity. I could care less of what you say. You're saying that I'm wrong for believing in something that literally teaches me whatever you want to say, whatever picket.
No, I'm saying you're wrong.
You want to wait a minute. Wait, I didn't interrupt you. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying you're wrong because you can't prove any of that. It's just a belief.
And you're wrong because I never said I wanted to. When did I ever say my job was to prove?
Hold up. How can you not agree with this?
We've spent asking, does God exist? Built cathedrals on it.
Now, isn't that true? Isn't that true? Listen, built cathedrals on it. Listen.
Waged wars over it.
Isn't that true? Haven't we waged wars over religion? Let's continue.
Destroyed families and identities in the name of it.
Yeah, people.
But if we're honest,
be quiet.
We've been asking the wrong question.
Nah, I need to be quiet.
Because if that God does exist and still chooses silence and suffering, still watches war, genocide, abuse without lifting a divine finger,
Doesn't God see that? He's the omnipresent, omniscient. So he see all this stuff going on, the raping of little girls, the bombing of people, the chaos that's going on amongst our people, the slavery, 400 years, but he's still absent. So what's the sense of us still believing in a God that won't even present himself or help us?
The same sense.
Hold
No,
on. That's
this.
Antonio. That's Antonio. It's not a question for you.
Then what difference does that existence actually make? You don't pray to gravity. You don't build churches to oxygen. You breathe it. You live in it. You test it because it's there. So maybe the better question isn't, does God exist? Maybe it's, why would it matter if it did? What's the point of a God who hides behind mystery and trauma? Why worship what doesn't show up? And maybe deeper than all of that, maybe the question we're really afraid to ask is, what happens if there's no one coming? No sky parent, no cosmic judge, no backup plan, just us. Would that break you, or would that free you? Because the moment we stop chasing gods that ghost us, we start finding each other. And that's holy enough for me.
Keon, your last remarks, brother. Go ahead. And then we're going to go to Cube and get his last take on it.
At the end of the day, I really don't even care about what y'all believe in. Y'all can have it. Sa, I do have somebody that I do. Actually, I want to talk to you. I don't know what's been going on last time. You didn't even let me in, brother. Did I hurt your feelings or something? Like I
No,
came
what
in
are you talking about?
the chat. You done skipped over me to talk. I had to interrupt people to even talk. You didn't let me get a introduction or nothing. Like, what did I do something, brother? I didn't do nothing to you.
Nah, brother, we good. We cool.
Okay, just making sure. But
No,
okay,
we
at the end,
good.
but I do want to talk about something else though, because again, we're never going to agree on a religion, and I'm just tired of arguing about it anyway. So there's somebody that I have for you that does his own channels and stuff, and he's actually a fan. Well, not a fan, but he's actually a watcher of yours, or used to be a watcher of yours, who's actually he knows you basically, and he said he would love to get into it. I want you to talk to him because he's good at what he does. I was going to send you his channel so he can do the thing you was talking about with the updates and stuff like that. So I do want to talk to you about that whenever you got time.
That sounds good. You got my number. Hit me up.
Got you. All right then, son.
All right. Let me go on over to my man Cube. Close us out, brother.
Yeah, I gotta close this out, man, because a lot of these brothers are unintelligent, and it's unfortunate, especially like a young brother like Keon. Because I'm gonna be honest, if this particular thing was around when I was a young brother, man, I promise you, bro, I would have been all over it. Pause. I would have been all over it if I had, excuse my language, bigger niggas that was on this type of time. Like, bro, you need to be on this, bro. You need to be on that. I would have been all over it because me knowing myself as a younger cat, I was listening to the bigger niggas, the older guys. And if the older guys were telling me, hey bro, you gotta read this book, or you can't even come around us. Bro, I promise you, bro, I would have been reading them books. If my bigger niggas would have been like, bro, if you can't read this book, listen, don't come around us until you do it. I would have been reading those books. But see, the problem is that we don't have people that are actually reading these books. We don't have people that are actually intelligent enough to understand a lot of these things. So when I came into this nonsense uh, of the fake black Hebrew Israelite, I got my girl into it. I got myself into it. I got my daughter into it. But see, there was so much more out there. There was so much more out there that I wasn't able to grasp. So before we end this, my thing from me to you, leave, push this garbage away. This Christianity, this fake black Hebrew Israelite stuff, these fake. Listen, there is nothing out there outside of what you think it is. It's just you. I promise you, it's just you. And with that being said, peace. I'm gonna do a stream. If y'all want to come check out my channel, it's outside your cube. Outside your cube. And y'all can come check me out. Peace.
All right. Peace, brother. All right, family. Y'all already know what it is. We got Neftali coming through this week or next week, I think. And she's going at the Almond Raw Squad. And it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. Trust and believe. It's going to be a good one. And then we got Judah Nazareth taking on Seth. King Seth. Is the Bible a fairy tale book? That's going down. Look for that. That's going to be fire. And of course, the main event. We got the main event going down. Nepal haven't been in the ring in a minute, but her skills are sharp. She's one of the best when it comes to this Bible. Ryan will have his hands full. Nepal is definitely a skill and professional debater. All right. I just want to make sure I make that clear. She is a skilled and professional debater. And make sure y'all support this debate right here. Support this debate. All right. And with that, peace and blessings. We out of here.